Young Bucks, old goats. I got all my friends that have renovated new houses that I haven't seen yet. Highly a comic bro. He's in his he was just got off the piano over here. Also the bum. Also, you guys have the same house, dude. Everybody. I got the bum.
We
Tank.
use the same contractor.
What's up, guys?
What's up?
What's
that all
going
IKEA?
on?
All that stuff.
Yes, including the grand piano.
Beautiful. Gentlemen, we're going to talk a little football. We're going to look back at the NFL season, look ahead to the playoffs. We're going to talk a little bit of fantasy and whatever else pops up. We got the old crew here. Bum, are you okay?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
Except when you mentioned fantasy.
Let's start with that because I didn't play fantasy this year, but I know you guys did. And Raul, you were a commissioner?
Again.
I was a commissioner in one league.
Okay.
First year?
Tank.
No,
So,
second.
let's obviously DeMar Hamlin's injury put a lot of those leagues in an interesting situation. He's doing well, right? I haven't kept up with the latest. I saw he got discharged in Buffalo, so he's doing good now.
Yeah.
That's good to know. But the situation put some fantasy leagues in like a pickle, right? So I don't know. You want to tell us about your situation, how it happened, Ro?
Yeah,
You were
so
the commissioner of that league, I think.
Yeah, so I was the commissioner. Tank actually made the final against Steve, and Tank was up by 38 points going into Monday night's game.
Yeah.
Somewhere right around there, right?
Yeah.
And Steve had
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen. And he was favored to win as far as the projections. So what we did, of course, the game didn't go on. I waited a little bit over a week, and I put in a message in the group chat what I was thinking of doing. Some people put their opinions, but it was nothing that really. I didn't put it to a vote. I kind of did, but nobody really went with it. So I just decided, when I saw that the game got canceled, they weren't going to do that shit. I wasn't going to go to the next week. I didn't want to do that. And what I did was I just combined the first and second place winnings, and I split it between Tank and Steve. And I thought that was fair. It was unprecedented. I actually did find out. I saw something today that it actually – there was a player that died before on the field.
Yeah, 1971, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't know that. So it is not unprecedented.
What's unprecedented is the stoppage of the game.
Yes.
And not playing the game at another time.
Correct.
Tank, were you happy with your commissioner's decision?
Yeah. I thought as soon as
Don't
he
just say that for the cameras, bro.
No. As soon as he sent it, I thought it was a good solution. Actually, a couple people agreed. I think like 4 people said it was a good idea. Some other people pitched in something else, some other ideas, but I think it was. And I think Raul said that Steve also agreed.
Steve was super cool with it.
I think it was cool.
For as strange as a situation, happening on championship week in most leagues.
On Monday night.
Yeah, dude, it's.
Let me ask you a question. How much was Tank projected to lose by? Do you guys remember?
2 points.
It was like 2 points.
Very tight game. Yeah. Anything could have happened.
Yeah.
Do you think if that game is not projected to be close, obviously you probably maybe have a different outcome? You call it.
Yeah. We spoke about it.
Yeah, we brought that up as well. If it would have been,
like our third place game.
Yeah, or a blowout or some shit like that. Yeah, I would have called it for the winner. But since that game was so close, I thought it was the only fair thing to do.
Speaking of third place game, let's go down to Frederick Chopin down here in the bottom. And you played in a third place game, right, Bum?
Well, let me
I know this is
start with the
difficult.
first
This
place
is
game.
difficult to talk about.
Yeah, I'd like to preface my story by saying I'm never playing fantasy sports again. But here's what happened in my league. The first and second team playing for the championship, the guy in first place, one guy had a considerable lead, but the other guy had, listen to this, Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, Stephon Diggs, and I think another guy going. And that guy lost because obviously those players didn't play.
And they didn't combine it and
Hold
call
on.
it.
I played in the third place game. I was losing by 10. The other team didn't have any players left. And I had Josh Allen and Joe Mixon left with 10 down by 10 points. And obviously those guys didn't really do anything or didn't play.
So what did your commissioner decide?
Not what I wanted. We took it to a vote, and the guy who was gonna win it all basically said, "Yeah, we should keep it the same." The guy who was winning me said, "Yeah, we should keep it the same," and everybody else was disinterested and basically said, "Yeah, let's keep the Yahoo 17 scores."
Dude, that's
Now,
bullshit.
Whatever the scores
Yeah,
were at
it
that
is.
time is basically what they did.
Yeah,
Dude, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
I suggested let's go with Yahoo's recommendation, which is this. Let's keep week 17 and add week 18 and see, add basically week 18 to the championship. Or dump week 17 and make week 18 the playoff. They did neither of those. And they didn't even do a more creative solution. I would have preferred a creative solution like you came up with. Because at least it's something different than, you know what? Fuck it. So yes, I'm a bit bitter. I was
So they went
wire
standard.
first place. Yeah, they went standard. Like basically, they took week 17 that was deficient of players because of the Bengals-Bills game and just took those scores.
Dude, that's fucked up.
How's the second place
Yeah.
guy feeling?
You know
He
what?
didn't care too much, right?
I mean, yeah, he made money, and I actually text him to, hey, you're out to give up because this guy was champion last year. He could have potentially had a back-to-back championship. I have never seen that in all my
Dude, he
years.
had three studs playing. He had three studs in a potentially super high scoring game that was going to be.
I think he had 4 players. I can't remember the fourth one, but the 3 that I mentioned, he definitely had. Burrow,
he was okay.
Diggs, and Jamar Chase.
So he was okay not having points for those guys, and he lost.
He never chimed in. I don't know if the guy was on vacation. I don't know if maybe DeMar Hamlin was a family member of his who was there visiting him. I don't know, but he never said anything.
That guy that won needs an asterisk next to his fucking shit. That's bullshit.
He's gonna have an asterisk in his bank account.
Yeah. That
Wow,
sucks.
Yeah. And we raised, and it was the first year we raised the winnings too.
Oh, to make it even extra sweet.
I'm sure he was very happy.
I gotta tell you, if that shit would have happened to me, thank God I didn't play again, because if I would have played again and then that happens to me, oh my God.
Well, let me ask you, Randy. This is your old league. Does it make you feel happy that you didn't partake in that league again?
I was I was talking to John the other day about this. I'm glad in general that I didn't play this year because I did enjoy football more purely this year than I had in other years. I watched only the games I cared about. I whether it was the Dolphins games or just like a really good matchup or whatever. And then I didn't find myself watching the Sunday night football game with the Broncos versus the Colts, waiting for the backup tight end to possibly come in that I had to pick up on the last day because you know what I mean? I and at one point that's what I liked about fantasy football. I was like, oh, now I like this shitty game because I have something to root in. But it was weird not to play and not care about those games, and I found it a little bit more enjoyable. But I'm saying if I would have played again and that would I would have ended up in one of those scenarios. I mean, yes, terrible thing that happened to the guy. I'm not saying, all that, I think human side, not complaining about that. Just then you still have to deal with that other part. And it's like, dang, dude, because I'm already like a bad luck kind of fucking guy with that. So,
Tank, real quick, listening to the bum, his experience. If we would have done it that way in our league, you would have won.
Yeah.
How would that, you think I made the right decision?
Yeah, for sure, dude. I think like I was thinking about it the whole time. I was like, man, I kept thinking like I wonder what's gonna happen. First of all, I wasn't even like I was just happy to be in the championship game in my second year of fantasy, so I didn't.
You had a great year. You had a great fucking year too.
Yeah, bro. I had some nice games, right? I can't complain about that year. You remember I had texted you when Chad was like 4-0, and I was like, dude, I'm 1-4. What the? I said, I'm not coming back from this.
I'm gonna be honest, man. I would have been pissed myself because I would have been like, oh my god, I had that championship right there, But I understand what you're saying. I'm talking about me. You just started playing. Good for you. Second year.
Yeah.
Awesome. Me, I've been playing all these fucking years. I never won. And then if that would have been the way I would have won, I would have.
No, but I would have won. I was winning.
Okay, in that scenario, yes.
Right.
If we would have gone with the bums league, you would have won.
Yeah, I would have won.
Yeah.
I think it would have been too much.
That one would have just felt dirty.
Yeah, it would have been too much conflict. Yeah, it would have been too much conflict in the group.
What up, Remo?
Hey, what's up? Hey, the band is back together. What's up, Remo?
Literally, we all playing the piano.
Hey, since Remo's in the chat, dude, Remo started off really bad, dude, and he fucking made a big fucking comeback. So he had a great fucking year as well.
Hell yeah. Did he make it into the dance or he just
Did he? I think he just missed it. I could be wrong. I don't remember exactly. He might have just missed it, but he made a really good comeback.
But yeah, dude, I think you did the right call, bro.
I think it was the only fair thing to do.
Yeah,
bro. I didn't want to take points from the weeks 18 when a lot of players aren't playing because they don't fucking have to play and all this shit. So I didn't want to do that.
All right.
I just didn't want to take that into consideration. Bum. So you're not doing it next year? Are you that jaded?
I'll tell you what. In this league, next year
what up, Danny?
Would be the 20th year of this league.
Wow.
So you're like Tom Brady.
Thanks,
it's
Remo.
kind of maybe I'll play that last, but right now I don't want to even think about it.
Okay.
Maybe you should get into basketball.
Thank you, Remo. Appreciate it. It was a lot of fun this year.
But
gentlemen, let's look at the bum just retire, bro.
I'm thinking about it.
Let's talk about the football ramifications of that game or no game or whatever. Yes, Danny, we know the Finns are done. Come on, bro. You got to rub it in. Not as done as your Titans, though, who had that game.
Oh, my God.
Why did they make that guy throw the ball? I do think that was a forward pass, by the way. Did you guys think that was a forward pass?
Yes.
Yes, right?
Yeah.
I was in a group there, and everybody was like, nah, dude, that's a fumble. I'm like, bro, his hand is going. It just got to start going forward. And did you notice they never brought in, they always bring in that referee. Hey, let's bring in whoever. What do you think? They never did that. They never once talked to A referee, I
Well,
found that odd.
what I said when we were I think we were watching that, right?
Yeah, I was with you and Manny.
I said it's so close, and the ruling on the field is that it's a fumble. It'll be hard to overturn.
I agreed with that aspect, but I would have wished they would have brought on a referee to take some ownership and explain. Those guys are usually really spot on, and when they explain it, you're like, all right, I could see where they never really like. I get it's hard to overturn a play, but
No, it's hard to overturn a play when it's not super obvious.
that to me, his hand was going forward. Anyways, you guys suck too, dude. So where were we going? Oh, what I wanted to ask you guys was the ramifications of playing the game. Did you guys ever think they were not going to play that game?
No.
Well, first of all, let's go to the game itself. Did you guys think that we're going to continue that game?
Yes.
I wasn't surprised when they didn't, dude. I just seeing the emotions that the players were going through on the field, I wasn't surprised.
I've never seen a game stop because of injury, completely canceled, and then furthermore never played again. Never seen that.
But that was a different kind of dude. When they're freaking,
They're
CPR,
bringing him back to life.
that's on a whole different level, dude. That's
Wow,
on
I've
a whole
never seen
different
it.
level, dude. That's not your average. Even though there's been some mass, people getting paralyzed, they don't know it at the time. They take them and they were fucking bringing this guy back to life. It's a little different, dude.
When I haven't seen too much, but when I saw Tua's injury, that second concussion, I thought it was like weird that they kept playing because it looked bad, But I haven't been watching long enough, so I don't know what the.
I've never seen a game where an injury. I was thinking they can't play this game.
The Tua game?
No, not the Tua game.
Oh.
I've never seen a game before this one where I thought, hey, maybe they shouldn't fucking play this shit. How are these people going to keep playing?
Now, what I read, obviously, we talked. I don't know, did we do that after before the pod started? We talked about that one guy who died on the field previously in 1971.
Yeah.
Old times, regional coverage, no Twitter, no Instagram, nothing like that.
A whole different world.
Yeah, different world. So that happened. They finished that game. I think there was a minute left in that game. And then I think there was one with a guy with the Bills who they did have to administer CPR to him on the field, but I don't think it went as long as this guy. I think this guy was like 9-10 minutes. They were, reviving him. That was the only other one that I read about somebody that they even had to do CPR on the field. But the good thing, when that dude died in 1971, they changed a lot of protocols. They had the ambulance there on standby. They had a bunch of other equipment, defibrillator, and all this stuff.
The thing that's strange, though, Randy, I never heard about that until this week, bro.
About what? The 71 guy?
Yeah.
Oh, they probably kept that pretty.
I never heard about that, dude.
Did the paralyzed players continue to play? Is Remo saying?
They keep when people get paralyzed, they keep playing. Yes.
Yeah.
Because they don't know they're paralyzed at that moment,
Yeah, they're different times.
I mean, they do that. They've done that as recent as Shazier. Well, he didn't end up being paralyzed, but it was
exactly.
You're not declared paralyzed, but somebody gets on a stretcher, immobilized, they keep playing.
They keep playing, but never fucking. I had never seen that, and except for that soccer guy that happened, I think earlier this year or last year.
Yeah, 21, Christian Eriksen.
Yeah,
they played that game. I think one of the players helped revive him or something.
And they kept playing that game.
Yes, after a while, there was a pretty long.
Remo said Mike Utley.
Mike Utley was for Detroit, yeah.
Former Lion, yeah. There was I can't remember the Bills guy's name.
There's been a few. I remember Darryl Stingley in the 70s.
The Jets guy, Bird.
Look it up, Tank. See, players. The Shazier was pretty.
Shazier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they keep playing, dude. It's a little different seeing that compared to fucking giving you life
There's a
Daryl
guy with the
Stingley,
U in his name. I can't remember his name.
Mike Utley,
Wasn't there
Ugly.
maybe him? I thought there was multiple Lions. The guy who passed was a
Kevin
Lion.
Everett was the Bills.
That's the guy I was
Dennis
talking
Bird
about.
was the
The Jets. Dennis Bird.
Jets.
Eric LeGrand,
Stingley was in the 70s. Daryl Stingley.
Heisman.
No, Theismann was his leg.
Yeah.
Stingley got paralyzed in a fucking preseason game, dude.
Jack Tatum.
By Jack Tatum, dude.
Oh yeah.
The assassin.
Dennis Bird.
Dennis Bird.
Yeah. He's on the screen right now.
Oh, who? The bum?
No, Dennis
Oh.
Bird.
Remo.
The bum is not paralyzed yet.
Not yet.
Once he gets through that bottle, he may.
Dude, don't play like that, bro. Don't even mention
Corey-
that. Don't put that,
Corey-
don't
Corey
put that in the
Stringer?
universe, bro. Don't put that in the universe.
He's working on it with the drinks, but it's just temporary paralysis.
Danny should know Corey Stringer.
Corey Stringer died in practice.
Of heat exhaustion.
Right.
Oh yeah. What
Dan
about
Marino was
Reggie
paralyzed
Brown?
from the waist down. Now that's disrespectful. Man.
Yeah, come on, bro.
Come on, dude.
Let's get this guy off the chat, bro.
He made it up above the waist, though. I gotta tell you, he definitely wasn't paralyzed in between his legs because we found some illegitimate children around and stuff. Right later.
Yeah.
Did you hear that one, Hialeah?
He was donking the
I'm not surprised. I think I have heard mention of that.
Like he had like another mistress and like a grown-up child before it came out from his NBC or CBS. I don't remember which one.
And he had like 4 or 5 kids with his wife, right?
Yeah, big family. Yeah, it's bigger now, but yeah, he has a pretty big family.
Was that the guy you guys were talking about? Was Reggie Brown that they finished the game?
No, the
What?
guy's name that
That
died.
was basketball, wasn't it?
Oh, he died. No, Reggie Brown was a linebacker from the Lions in '97.
Oh no, I don't know that one.
It said he suffered a serious spinal cord injury. He laid motionless on the turf for 17 minutes.
Before they noticed
Nah.
what was wrong?
He stopped
Dude,
breathing.
these are improper jokes, dude. Come on, we're out of control here.
It says
What
he
team was
turned-
this on?
He was on the Lions.
Oh
in
my God, the
97.
Lions have terrible luck on the field and for.
It says though that they gave him CPR on the field, and then he was put on a stretcher, and then the game resumed.
Yeah, there was a rumor that Lions players were faking paralysis to get out of losing games.
All right, you know what, man? If this is the way this is gonna go, I think we go harder. Dude. If
Okay,
you guys want to start, I can go hard too.
Lions wide receiver Chuck Hughes.
That's the guy that died.
That's the guy who died. Rest in
Oh.
peace.
The cause of death was determined a blood clot.
Yeah, receiver, and like they stretchered him off from what I read, but like somebody gave an account like his hand was limp. He looked like he was already passed away.
The first person to reach him was the Chicago linebacker Dick Butkus.
One of the best linebackers of all time.
Yeah.
They thought he was being like menacing around him, and he was really like freaking out and calling for help. Hank Gathers basketball. Refresh my memory on this. This was on the court collapse.
It was on the court. He played for Loyola Marymount, dude. And
That
he
was a crack, right?
No. He had a heart thing. He had,
okay.
that he didn't know about, and he died on the court, dude. That he was leading the NCAA. He was leading in scoring and rebounding.
And he was going to be the number 1 pick.
He wasn't gonna. I don't know if he was gonna be the number 1 pick, but he was a freaking stud, dude. And he just collapsed on the court and he died. I remember Bo Kimball was his teammate.
So in college,
Yeah, that was in
he never
college.
made it to the NFL.
Dude, that was basketball though. It was basketball.
Guys, Danny has an invite. We'll talk about that later. He wants to get together to watch either the division or championship round. We can do it here if you guys want. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, Gathers was awesome, dude.
I remember the Reggie Lewis.
Yeah,
Celtics?
from Boston.
He did not die, but he collapsed,
Mm-hmm.
and then I think he ended up retiring. Right?
Don't remember.
Kun Agüero in Barcelona collapsed on the field.
Yeah. Look up Reggie Lewis. Is it Reggie Lewis?
Yeah, he was a big rebounder, Remo, but he was also scoring like crazy in the NCAA.
Are you putting off Kun just like that, bro?
Because he's not dead.
Oh,
He just
sorry.
retired.
Right.
Who retired?
Kun Agüero from Argentina
Oh.
soccer.
Reggie Lewis.
Yeah.
What do you want to know?
Did he pass?
Yes.
Yeah, in '93. A little late.
That was not too long after the collapse. Then I'm assuming he was supposed to be a really good Celtic. He was supposed to be like kind of after Bird. What happened to Hialeah?
It says he returned.
I'm just going with Remo. What Remo's saying because Bo Kimball honored him by shooting his free throw left-handed.
Oh, speaking of left-handed people with injuries too.
To honor Gathers.
I got a Tua rant for you guys later if you want it. You let me know.
Oh,
Who
new
else?
record. 27 seconds before he talks about the Dolphins.
27 minutes.
Sorry.
We're still. Oh, let me.
I'm seeing that he announced his return in May of '93, and he died 2 months later.
Wow.
Reggie
I
Lewis.
wonder if he played because that's the season. We're talking about Reggie Lewis.
Yes.
The season
I'm
doesn't
sorry.
start till much later.
The guy I was thinking about was Len Bias.
That was
That guy
cocaine.
died
That
after
was
draft
cocaine.
night.
He said cocaine.
He
That was
died.
because he tried
Yeah.
cocaine and he died.
Yeah, of a heart issue. His
That's the
heart
story.
blew up.
First time he ever tried cocaine, the night after the draft or something like that.
But
He
I
was,
think-
Hart.
he was like the third pick or something like that.
But I was reading that the Hank Gathers, that guy, they knew he had a heart condition. He was being treated for it, and then he died and collapsed from it.
Ooh, I did not know that. I thought it was something.
I didn't know. I just read it.
I didn't know they knew it beforehand.
They were treating him with beta blockers.
Oh wow,
Oh wow,
that guy was a monster, dude.
dude, the guy. What's the Celtics guy that died on draft night?
But bias.
Oh, dude, that guy was like a freaking specimen too, dude. He was like a bigger, stronger Jordan kind of looking guy. You never know, obviously, right? What he would have ended up being, but like physically, you look at that guy, he was freaking.
Yeah. But Gathers was the same way, man. Gathers was a fucking monster.
Wow. And Bias also played at Maryland.
Yes. He might have been the second pick. I don't remember.
Reggie Lewis, or sorry, yeah, that's his name, right? Reggie Lewis.
The Celtics guy, yeah.
Yeah, it says that he started to work out with the team, and he died in off-season practice.
Oh my god.
During a practice, he went into cardiac arrest, and they couldn't resuscitate him.
Oh shit, dude. Yeah, I remember his was like a comeback, and then I couldn't remember if he just retired or if he passed. Holy cow! So the game,
I'm sorry, Bias second pick overall.
Second pick, right?
Bum. Why'd you say also Maryland? Was somebody else from Maryland?
Hank Gathers, right?
No, he was from Loyola Marymount.
Okay, sorry.
All right. I was surprised they didn't finish the game because they had never done it before.
It's still shocking, right?
Yeah, and I was surprised that they were talking about it. Well, we're gonna give the players. I was watching the telecast, and he said it multiple times. We're gonna give the players a 5-minute warm up, and we're gonna restart the game. That Joe Buck said that multiple times, and I think he's come out and he said, "Bullshit." Whatever Troy Vincent says or whatever, they told us that we were restarting that game. Maybe he didn't say it that firmly, but he did say it because they make him look like a dumbass if not.
Well, ESPN backed up Joe Buck and saying that's exactly what we expected. That's exactly what we heard, and that's exactly why Joe Buck said that.
And then I thought they'd be able to squeeze that game in. You guys thought they were going to play that game somehow, some way?
Absolutely.
How would you have done it?
I think it would have been cutting out the extra week before the Super Bowl. But I was fine with that.
But
Of
what do you
course,
have? Only them play during 1 week and nobody else play?
I guess that's the issue, right?
Right. So how would you have played it?
But how does that matter?
Because you would have messed with the bye weeks. You would have given everybody a bye week. You're almost like some people are benefiting from it, some people are not.
Yeah.
I think the only way to do it is you would have had to do it. You would have had to implement some COVID era rules where you're playing a game on a Thursday and then another game on a Tuesday or some,
Right.
you maybe. I heard a lot of people say bad mojo and shit. They didn't want to play that game, but maybe you play that game on Friday and on Tuesday you play their other games or some wacky thing like that. But I
I
don't
think
think
it could have been done.
somehow, some way, right? Because now you got this win percentage situation, coin flips, stats are off. Those are all secondary to the guy's health, obviously. And then, sorry, go ahead, Haile.
Do you
Motorcycle guy, take a shot.
Danny left a comment, Randy.
Yo, I gotta go be up early.
at the
Brandon,
end
let's
of
do
the
the
day,
playoff thing, bro, so we can hang and talk football with the fellas. Let's do it. Go ahead, Haile.
at the end of the day, do you guys think they handled it the right way?
I think they handled it
yeah.
kind of like as we go. There was no protocol. There's going to be a protocol now,
Yeah.
but I don't have a problem with them stopping the game. It was crazy what happened. It's a weird freaking thing, dude. I was just surprised the way that they did it, but it had never been done. I think the Chiefs somehow, and it's weird too because they have the most wins, but I think they lost to both those teams, right?
Definitely the Bills.
I don't remember.
Can you look that up, Tank?
And
Chiefs
they lost to Cincinnati too, yeah.
So that's the caveat where, yes, you have one more win, but wait a second. One of your losses is to us. So they have that neutral field chance if they get to the AFC Championship with either the Bengals or the Bills. Is that right? Or just with the Bills?
Yeah, both of them.
Yeah, I think if either one of them go.
They lost
What if
to
the
both of
Bill?
them.
So if any of those three teams combine for the AFC Championship game, it'll be neutral. Is that how it is? No, I think the Bengals are one behind, right?
I think they handled it right, dude. I think they did the best they could. I think they handled it PR wise, everything.
Yeah, Chiefs are 14-3, Bills are 13-3.
And what are Bengals?
12-4.
Okay, so no, that neutral field thing is only if it ends up being Bills Chiefs.
Yeah.
Very weird. Weird stuff happens.
Yeah.
That was a weird one. You know what's another weird thing? The Dolphins making the playoffs.
They were expected to, man. God, they were on such a ride, bro, and they just collapsed.
What about the Bucks winning the division at 8-9?
That's disgraceful.
That's so Brady-ish.
Perfect.
Right?
Perfect. Yes, it's so Brady-ish.
I got the standings here up, right, guys?
Yep.
Yes.
All right. So that's the AFC East right there.
I think my commissioner of fantasy football was in charge of Brady's division.
Here's the West. You're right, though, Hialeah. I think a lot of people probably would have had the Dolphins 9-8, maybe 10-7 at the beginning of the year. But like I told my boy, 90, when you start 8-3, and when we were 8-3, I told him, bro, even if we go 3-3, I'm gonna be disappointed because you're 8-3, But 3-3 would have been like freaking. I would be jumping off the walls right now if we would have gone 3-3. But we go 1-5. So when you start 8-3 and you end up 1-5, God damn, that fucking tastes like ass, dude. To fucking do that.
So they lost 5 straight, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which one of those hurt the worst, the most?
The one that we were winning, which we would have probably sealed, which was the Packer one for me.
That's exactly how I see it. That Packer loss was the one that hurt the most, man.
All you have to do is down the ball, dude.
Dude, that Packer one was that hurt, man.
Yeah, I would say if you had to pick one, but to me, the Packer and the New England game, you should have won. You could make a case that those other teams were better than you, but you should have beat the Packers.
The Packers at home.
You had them beat. You had them completely beat. It took 3 interceptions in a row, which that is rare. I don't know how many times you guys seen that.
Yeah, that
especially
Packer game.
Especially from a guy that wasn't really turning the ball over.
Dude, I'm not a Dolphin fan, and that game hurt when they lost.
You had your own pain as we're looking at the AFC
I've
West.
had a lot of pain. It's nothing. I'm okay.
You don't need to share any of our pain.
No, but that Packer game, it was just like, God damn, dude.
Same old Dolphins, dude.
What about the Bills win?
The Bills.
They competed. That game was tight. That game they played their fucking hearts out. That was not a bad loss.
The defense stepped up in the third quarter in that game and gave
it's
us
hard. It's hard to go against the refs, bro.
Dude, but that Packer game was pitiful, dude.
A lot of people are down on the Dolphins' defense. Yes, they've regressed. They've been decimated. But throughout that losing streak, if you look at that losing streak, we had a chance to win every single game. Some we were winning. Some we were right there at the end. We could have won, and we lost. All of them except that last one.
But doesn't that kind of go with their season though? They beat every team that they should have won early, right? They beat all the teams that they should have won, which they usually lose to one or two of those games. So they're actually better. But when they played those better teams, they weren't good enough yet.
Yeah, that Ravens game was a miracle. That should have been a loss.
Yeah. But I'm talking about like the Houston game. They totally destroyed them. That's what they were supposed to do, and they did it.
But actually, a lot of people believe that 5-game losing streak started in the second half of that Houston game when they really didn't do anything. They opened up a big lead, and then they went dormant. And then since that,
we even took Tua out of that game because he was getting roughed up.
They took their foot off the pedal. I'm not blaming it on that. I think that San Francisco game, that's when they started. When they didn't run their ball. They totally abandoned the run in that San Francisco. It's like they just gave that game. They was like, dude, we're not winning this. We're not even gonna,
We got the Mothman prophecies are back. But you're right, Hialeah. They feasted off the bad teams as they should. McDaniel and Tua, especially. If you look at all those Tua games, 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, that was against really bad defenses. The Lions, the Bears, the Browns we decimated. The Texans for one half we were blowing out. And then, we started the second half bad. But, they absolutely just ripped all those crappy teams. And then, man, I hate to say I told you so, but I told you so. The season starts in this Niner game on the road. Then you got to go play Herbert, the guy that everybody thinks they should have picked. Then you got to go play, was it Buffalo after that? And then New England. And then I was like, dude, that's the game. That's who this team is. And that's who we were. Anyways, this is the rest of the league, AFC North. How about the Steelers, dude? They almost snuck it in there. If we would have lost, they would have snuck it in there.
Tomlin's a hell of a fucking coach, man.
Yeah.
And the Jaguars snuck it in there.
Jaguars are not bad, dude.
Yeah, Jaguars are dangerous.
Yes. They could win this week easily. You know what the team for me, bro, what Seattle did this year is fucking insane. I cannot believe they're in the fucking playoffs, bro.
Aren't they? No. Geno Smith, I thought, was like the Tua of the NFC. kind of not so great guy, but had a great year somehow.
I put it on the coach more than.
Would you rather have Tua or Geno Smith, bum?
Now that we know what Tua's true durability is, I guess Geno Smith, man. But man, that's terrible. That's
He had a great year, dude.
pick. That's a terrible choice. Because one is a potentially young quarterback that's ascending, and the other is a journeyman. But one is super durable, and the other one can't get near a football field without getting hurt.
Yeah. Look at the NFC East, dude. This is like the old days. Everybody was kind of pretty good.
Yeah, that was surprising as well.
I don't feel, looking at the NFC West, that enough teams talked about how much ass the Rams sucked. Or the Cardinals, for that matter.
Well, they fired their coach, the Cardinals did.
I know, but I felt like kind of league-wide they didn't get enough shit for sucking. Or is that just me?
Well, being that they were the Super Bowl champions, yeah, I would think that's a.
But it was almost determined early on. All right, that's it. The Rams are going to suck this year, right? For me, it seemed like their season was over. I don't know. They're
super early, right?
Yeah, like for me, they've been out of it like since week 3 or something. I don't know.
Well, I definitely. I mean, you get your quarterback hurt and you get Cooper Kupp hurt. I mean, and then later Allen Robinson, who wasn't doing shit, but still, I mean, those first 2 injuries, that seals the deal.
The thing too, I'm sure they're getting a ton of shit. It's just it's on the West Coast, and we just don't hear it as much. But I'm sure there's a ton of shit.
And it's a ton of shit after winning a Super Bowl. That's a little different.
Yeah, that's why that one specifically, I was like, man, I feel like they should have got more shit.
Yo, I'm seeing that the Cards requested an interview with Flores.
I wanted to ask a question about Flores.
I saw a couple people want to interview him.
Yes, I heard that too about the Cardinals.
The Browns.
If the Dolphins, okay, this is super out there. If they draft Justin Herbert, right? I'm not talking comparing him to Tua. If they would have drafted Herbert, is Flores still the Dolphins coach?
Probably.
100%. I think
so too.
I mean, we have the same record as we did last year when he got fired.
Yeah.
Except we got the playoff berth, so, there's that. You can hang your hat on that.
I don't think a lot of shit goes down if they would have just drafted Herbert. And
Dude,
I'm not saying they would have been any better. I'm just saying shit would have been different.
Here's the NFC North. Vikings kind of housed that early on, right? That was kind of...
Yeah.
Man, the Lions have a lot of firepower, man.
Dude, the Vikings are fucking imposters, though, dude.
Yeah.
They're super imposters. I wouldn't be surprised if they lost this week, dude.
Because of the quarterback.
I don't even know if it's the quarterback. It might be the fucking defense, dude.
Oh man, because they got a lot of talent everywhere else.
They do, but Cousins didn't have a horrible year. I think it's more the defense. They just the coaching. I'm not sold on that culture.
Yeah, I can't lie.
You
Cousins saved me. Except that last fucking game, he had me shitting my fucking pants.
I kind of would have liked to see the Packers snuck in there, man. I'm not a fan of theirs at all, but
I don't know, man.
No, fuck the Packers, bro.
Yeah, they were fucking with us. Rodgers has been a little weird lately.
Dude, he's weird as fuck, dude. I'm happy for the Lions. They got they're looking good. I'm happy for the Lions.
When was the last time the Lions were in the playoffs?
When that guy died.
Remo shouldn't have.
Did they ever make it with Megatron?
I think they did one year.
With who?
Megatron? I think they went once.
And then here's the NFC South crap division.
Or they might not have. I don't know. I don't remember.
Wow.
All right. That's the tournament there, fellas. Now, how does this work? The Chiefs will end up playing whatever the lowest seeded team is, right?
Yes.
So they're playing. We don't know. Whoever wins. I mean, if by some act of God the Bills bus gets lost on the way to the stadium and we win, that's who we would play.
Yes.
Yeah.
If the Ravens win, then they would play them. If they win and we lose, which is probably what would happen. Or if the favorites win in those two games, Bills win, Bengals win, they play the winner of Chargers, Jaguars.
Right.
Then on the other side, Eagles are playing the role of, not Eagles, Seahawks are playing the role of the Dolphins there if they happen to have a miracle, or if the Giants could beat the Viking.
They could. They very well can. Yeah. I'm calling the Giants to win that game.
You guys want to pick these games?
Yeah.
All right. Let's do it.
So,
I got
think
some
I'm
points.
I think I'm the only one who wanted to do it.
Somebody yelled out.
And it
All right.
overshadowed the other notes.
Hey, the last time the Lions were in the playoffs was 2016.
Okay.
That's the last time the Dolphins were in the playoffs, I believe.
Yes.
When was the Dolphins' last playoff win?
2000.
We beat them. Theirs was 91.
It was against the Colts, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Me and the bum were there.
It was that what was the running back? He ran for like 210 or something like that.
Lamar Smith, and then the next
Smith.
week he couldn't even raise his hand.
Yeah.
The next week.
Against the Raiders.
The Raiders. Jinx, you owe me a kiss.
I think Jay Fiedler got stuffed at the goal line or fumbled or something in that game. Am I remembering that
Wasn't it
right?
against the Colts?
What's that?
It was against the Colts, right?
Yeah, but we lost to the Raiders the next week after we won.
Oh, okay.
You don't
That
remember?
was the game over in Oakland, right? Yeah, I remember.
Yes. All right. I got the first game up here, guys. Seahawks and San Fran. And the Niners are favored by 9.5. Tank, you want anybody?
Yeah. I'll take the Hawks.
Against the spread? Or
The spread.
or
The spread.
winning?
Yeah, we're picking against the spread.
Okay. I'll take the Hawks.
I'll take San Fran.
You're picking bum or nah?
Man, if it's the spread, it should be the Hawks, but I'll take San Fran. That's my dark horse again.
That's the Saturday 4:30 game. There's two games on Saturday, I guess. Because we have a Monday night game too, right? Mixed in with all this shit.
Dallas and Tampa.
Okay. So next up, we got the Chargers in Jacksonville. And this one's much tighter. The Chargers are favored by 2.5. I got to go with the Chargers here.
Yeah, I'll take the Chargers.
But they are on the road, right? This is a home game for Jacksonville.
I'm taking Jacksonville.
I'm taking Jacksonville too.
Wow. Who would have thought? If I would have asked you week 2, Chargers are playing the Jaguars in the playoffs, you probably would have said no. That's
No
not
way.
happening. And you wouldn't have picked the Jaguars. But that home field. I'm taking the Chargers. How about you, Tank?
Yeah, I said Chargers.
Okay. Then, oh my God. Dolphins, Sunday, 1 o'clock. Bills. Bills are favored by 13.5. Jesus, when's the last time there was a spread that big in a playoff game?
Probably the last time the Dolphins played.
I remember the Super Bowl, Rams, Patriots. The Rams were favored something like 13.5 in that game.
And lost.
Brady's first Super Bowl. Yeah. I mean, not only did they cover, they lost the game. Who wants to pick this shit?
Dude, give me Miami.
I'm taking the
Lock,
Bills.
lock of the week.
I'm taking the Bills.
I'm taking the Bills.
I'm taking the Bills. That makes me sad. Then 4:30, Giants, Vikings. Vikings are favored by 3.
I'm taking the Giants.
I'll take the Giants.
Yeah, Giants. Oh, sorry, no, Vikings.
I'll take the Vikings too. And then this is the Monday night game. Dallas, Bucks.
I'll take Dallas.
What's the line on this? 2.5. Cowboys are favored by 2.5.
Yeah.
Can't you just see Brady winning this game at home?
The Dallas Cowboys are the biggest chokers. I'm taking Tampa Bay.
I'm taking Tampa too.
I'm taking Tampa Bay, man. I just this is classic Brady
Yes.
right here.
Super Bowl winner story.
And who would they play if they win this game? Let's see.
The Eagles.
Probably the Atlanta Falcons. They'll make them play the Atlanta Falcons.
The Eagles are gonna turn into the fucking. You guys see those memes that it's 4 squares, and then they start morphing into something else.
Yes.
Look at that guy in the ad. He's a Patriot fan.
Fuck that guy.
Who would they play if they won? They would be the 4th seed, so they would. I guess they could end up playing the Eagles, right?
No, they do. Isn't that how it works? That's the bracket right there.
No, it's not a
No.
bracket. The Eagles would play the lowest seeded team to advance.
Oh wow, football is weird.
Yeah. So, unless there's an upset, they would play the Eagles.
Football FU or football FO?
Who do you guys? Let's just make some championship game predictions. Who do you guys see playing in the AFC and NFC championship games?
Oh, I got Chiefs, Bills, and San Francisco Eagles.
I'll agree with that.
Me too.
So KC, Bills, San Fran, Eagles. So we would be at a neutral site. I wonder where they would play that game if this were to go happen.
We'd play it at Brady's house.
And he would win.
We'll play at FTX Brady Stadium.
They would bring him complimentary Bitcoin and play it at a game of his choosing, and they'd allow him to pick players off the losing teams to bolster his roster for the game.
Yes, and then he'd play the Atlanta Falcons.
But the Atlanta Falcons with Matt Ryan, they'd insert Matt Ryan at quarterback.
They'll sign one day.
Yeah. And they would bring back Shanahan would have to go and coach them. And I don't know was Mike McDaniels on that Falcon staff in that debacle?
I think you said that he was.
I'm seeing a pattern with his time management at times, dude.
Who do you guys have in the Super Bowl?
That's a good one.
Didn't we make those picks at the beginning of the year?
Probably.
I don't remember what the fuck.
We'd have to go to the tapes. We don't have that kind of budget.
I got KC, San Fran.
I have Bills, San Fran.
I have Bills. I have Bills, Eagles.
Hold on. Say those again. I want to jot those down. Who do you have, Jonas?
KC, San Fran.
Okay. Bum?
Bills, San Fran, That's before the Jimmy Garoppolo injury, but I'm sticking with it.
And Hialeah?
Bills, Eagles.
That's more likely.
Yeah,
But-
probably.
but I'm
I
st-
have. That's exactly who I have, Hialeah.
but I'm sticking with it.
I have Bills Eagles at this point. I would go for the Eagles, but I would say the Bills win. You guys want to pick a winner?
I picked the Bills.
I think Kansas would win. And in your scenario, I think Allen would win.
Bum.
I'm thinking the Bills are going to win.
Damn. So 75% Bills winning the Super Bowl here. A team of destiny.
Well, you got to think, what will the writers want, right? And you almost see the Bills being New Orleans Saints after Katrina, Super Bowl winner. You see the Bills never have won. Hamlin, all this stuff. It's the right scenario that they would write in, Bills.
I could see it, bro. They bring Jim Kelly to do the coin toss or something like that.
Yes.
Or,
Bills Mafia.
He
Like
walks
with the mustard and the ketchup. It's just in a whole mound. You don't even see the guy anymore. He dies.
Hamlin walks out with them.
Yeah.
Hamlin walks perfect.
Then sings the national anthem.
Yeah. Hamlin walks out to do the coin toss or some shit.
They all wear number 3.
Yeah.
They have a sticker on their helmets or something.
And they win by 3.
Yes.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Or they go
Or Brady comes in.
or they go with the heel route and the Bills get blown out in another Super Bowl.
That's another possibility.
Or Brady somehow. That will never happen, right? Like, who would stop watching football if Tom Brady won the Super Bowl this year?
I may drive to the headquarters of the NFL and burn them down.
Wow. You're talking about the script writing department? Or
No, I don't know who those people are, but I'll burn the whole building.
they're some of the most talented. Hollywood, this is, if you coincide the script writing era with COVID, Hollywood was not putting out as much movies. That those people needed a job.
Hey, don't put nothing off on the soccer writers. That fucking final was fucking epic.
Oh my God, what a
They've
fucking
been,
final.
they've been taking cues from the NFL.
Well, some of those guys went to work that event. It was during the regular season. There wasn't a lot going on.
Yeah.
They brought in some of the best. What a game.
And they do have that movie 80 for Brady now.
Which is
80?
basically old bitches that want to
Brady?
bang Brady.
Have you seen that?
No.
It's like Jane Fonda, Lily Tomlin, Sally Field going to the Super Bowl to see Tom Brady. It's a movie.
It's a dramatization. And he's in it, right?
I think so. Yeah, I would think.
So disappointing, dude.
Yes.
All right. I'm going to do my tuna. 5 minutes of tuna.
But haven't you done that all year?
I'm going to give you 5 more right now.
Okay.
I need some beers.
Isn't it curious how now the narrative is great player if he could only get over the injuries, and nobody is talking about how bad he's been the last 5 games and how he's been 0-7 in games dating back to his rookie year, in games he could have gotten us to a playoff. So 2020 Bills, we went up there, got spanked. I think he threw like 3 picks. 2021 Tennessee, I think he threw like 3 picks or had 3 turnovers. San Francisco, San Diego, Buffalo. Although, yeah, played a pretty good game in Buffalo. I'm not going to. Even with that game mixed in, if you look at the overall stats, of course, add in New England and add in Green Bay. The numbers in those 4 games are like 9 touchdowns, 10 picks, 5 fumbles, something like that. But everybody's just on the narrative like, it's just the injuries. Do you guys find that curious, or do you guys think, yeah, they're right, it's just the injuries? Or what's your guys' take on that?
Well, I think I think nobody tried to label him a crappy quarterback before he played a game this season, right? People were judging him as the season went through. When
You
he
don't
was
think
playing,
anybody before the year thought he was bad?
no, what I'm saying, yeah, you did.
I cannot be the only one.
We talked about it, that all the issues that he had at draft and all that. But I think at the point that he's playing bad, nobody wanted to shit on that and say he's playing good, but I really know he sucks.
I did. But that's
Yes.
not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is
that was your mantra.
no, I said that all the time. I'll say it all day. Yeah.
Right.
What I'm saying is people, not me, just regular people. Everybody now is talking about just the injury, but nobody's saying, damn, that guy really hadn't been playing well the last 5 weeks anyways.
No, you're right. That now it's strictly this is a good quarterback that can't stay healthy. That's the narrative now. Yes.
It seems like they elevated him to franchise status based on 7 or 8 games, half a season, not even half a season in today's NFL. Half a season worth of wins, I should say. He played more than half a season. Like, it reminds me of Carson Wentz. Do you remember when they thought that guy was going to be elite?
The next Tom Brady?
I mean, he also had a little bit of an injury scenario to him, which has hurt him. He's put up good numbers at times. But what's that guy? That guy's going to be a backup from now on, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If he's lucky.
Yeah.
Or Wentz?
No, Carson Wentz. I think people try to crown him really quickly after a few games.
I think a lot of people bet on, hey, look, this guy turned the corner. This guy is. Remember, it's not like a bad player in college that suddenly started to play well. This guy had a pedigree, supposedly, of a good player. So when he started to play good in the NFL, people jumped on that and said, oh, look, he finally turned the corner.
I just look at a lot of the nobody's ever come out of that college and been great quarterback, or that with so much talent around them. Even like Matt Leinart had such talent.
Think about it. The people who supposedly is their job to figure this shit out
don't work for the Dolphins.
Apparently throw that stat out, because even this coming year, one of the top quarterbacks is going to be the Alabama guy, and he's almost exactly like Tua in every dimension.
Smaller guy from Alabama, had some injuries. First pick, right?
It's going to happen again.
I don't get it.
I think this is what it is. I think he's an average quarterback. He had studs in college. He was okay here, but was he okay? He was okay, bro. He was splitting time with Fitzpatrick. You don't see that too often, dude, from a number 1 pick, right? It's like they were just carrying him along. This year, he gets Waddle in his second year. He gets fucking Hill. He gets some kind of running game, and all of a sudden he's fucking great. It's not a surprise. A new system with the coach. What happens? Yeah, they go 8-3, and then they hit the tough part of their schedule, and those teams you get figured out. after so many games, dude? What are they doing? Why is Hill almost gonna get 2,000 yards receiving? They figured him out. Those good teams are able to figure it out and implement. Okay, how are we gonna stop it? Houston might not. These lesser teams might not, but these good teams can.
And then once one team does it,
and
copycat league.
With KC last year, they put in the cover 2, and all of a sudden, you know what? KC figured it out this year again, and now everybody makes adjustments, right? Tua's an average player, man. Aside from the injuries, let's say he's just an average guy. He's not a physical specimen that's gonna, that could overcome this shit. He doesn't have that. He doesn't have it.
Yeah, I think to me, when I was down on the draft pick, right, when he started to play well, I was in line with Randy in saying the season, talk to me in December. The season starts with these harder games, right? But to me, the definition of a franchise quarterback is somebody who's durable, who is able to carry a team on their back when they're not playing well, if the defense is bad, whatever, they could elevate the team. He has none of those qualities.
I'll put it to you this way. We keep him. He's going to be compared forever with Herbert, right? What happened to Herbert this year? He lost Mike Williams. He lost fucking Keenan Allen. He probably had fucking broken ribs early in the season, and he never fucking missed a game.
Jump on my back. Come on, guys.
His numbers went super down. He had an off year, but I don't think that fucker was good for like maybe 7 games after he got hurt. But he kept playing. He never missed a game. He was probably playing with broken ribs. His numbers went down, but you know what? Now he's better. And you know what? San Diego's in the playoffs.
And he still threw for 4,000 yards, I think, bro.
I'm sure he did. That's not, but Herbert's a physical fucking specimen. Dude.
But, dude, how were people saying before the 5-game losing streak, no, Tua's the guy over Herbert? What were they seeing, bro? How could they even?
Because he was playing well. He was playing well, and the team was playing good. And people get blinded, man. People, it's like, it happens to all of us. It happens to all of us. Oh, you get excited when your team hasn't won for so long, and all of a sudden they start winning.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. You could, I think you could say, man, I'm excited he's playing well. Hey, man, finally doing good. But then to make that leap to like, bro, we picked the right guy, dude. Herbert, Herbert hasn't gotten to the playoffs. Herbert, shut the fuck up, bro. That guy's. I think that guy's. He's on the Hall of Fame trajectory. He's on the Hall of Fame.
He's had the best 3 years. I think even better than Mahomes, right?
Better than Marino, I think. Everybody. Yeah. Like if there was ever anybody on a Hall of Fame trajectory, granted, this is his first playoff appearance. We don't know what he's going to do.
It's not a fluke.
No, dude. That guy has proven time and time again that he's going to play, that he's going to make all the fucking throws, that he has the physical attributes. And when you look at Tua, he's smallish. He's a lefty. He's not really fast. You would think he could scramble and run. Not really that fast. Not really that agile in the pocket. He's gotten sacked 21 times this year. That is not a lot for an NFL quarterback.
That's nothing.
We had seasons here. Tannehill would get sacked like 60 times, bro. So, like, don't tell me, yes, the offensive line is not great. I get it. Not, but still, it's not like Burrow, I think, may have been gotten sacked like 60 times 1 year, too.
Yeah.
And I think that might have been his Super Bowl season.
It was.
So, like, there's a certain thing. He doesn't have it. They went all in on him. They've mortgaged the future. I feel like I'm doing the post-mortem Dolphins season show, and they're not dead yet. But they have gone all in with this team.
Flores knew it.
Never liked that guy too much, but he fucking knew that, dude. I have to fucking give him that.
He knew it.
And I feel like Greer is kind of trying to save that pick by doing other things, like bringing Cheetah. I like it. I like fuck the picks that they gave for him.
Great move.
Well, I got to tell you, I mean, that is the correct move to make for any
Oh my
quarterback.
God! Look who's here. Speak of the devil.
Dude, I had breakfast with him yesterday, and we had a blast. We had a really good time yesterday.
Hop on, Nighty, if you want. We'll keep it civil, dude. You're my boy. But maybe after this segment. Anyways, go ahead, Bum.
So, I like the move of trying to add tools to help them.
Definitely.
That's the right thing to do. I think
Did you
they
say
never-
tools?
Tools, yeah.
Oh, tools for Tua.
Tools.
Let's start a charity. Tools for Tua.
Yeah. I don't think they ever did that enough for Ryan Tannehill. You know? So to me, I think it was the right. But now you've realized, okay, we added these tools, and we're still not much better than what we were.
We're the same.
And you have a quarterback that can't play. As
And
good as he may be, that maybe people see he's not on the field.
And you could argue, well, we're worse because now that pick is looking more and more like the wrong pick, whether it be for performance or injury. And shit, we lost a bunch of other picks. We lost the Brady first-round draft pick because of Tua, because we were looking for a replacement for Tua. We got penalized. We traded for Chubb. That hasn't really fucking looked so great right now.
No.
Waddle, I love Waddle. We lost the first-round pick getting Waddle because we had to trade up to get him right after we got the extra first-round pick. So, like, a lot of picks have gone by the wayside, first-rounders. I'm not even counting the second and all the other shit that they've given away. That's going to hurt.
And the 2020 draft may end up being the greatest lost draft in Dolphin history.
That is a travesty, that Let's pull it up.
And find the next worst one. Was it like the Deion Jordan one?
That one we've had time to recover. We're still dealing with the aftermath of this one. Right? Like the Deion Jordan, that's kind of been scrapped already. That was so long ago. But yeah, that was a fucking bad one.
You may be able to pull a good player out of that draft even. I don't think out of this 2020 there's much.
Let me see if I can share this. We had 3 first-round draft picks that draft. And we go Tua instead of Herbert. Austin in action Jackson. The frickin' corner, as you called him, Bum, the day that we did the draft show after this. Well, this kid, he can't sniff the field, even like when everybody's decimated. Robert Hunt.
McDaniel is playing corner before Noah Ibiganabu. It's disgusting, bro.
What can you say is good about this draft? We got a long snapper out of it.
Robert Hunt. That's it. And he's a backup. He may start now because of injuries,
but that's your second round pick. And that was a quasi, that's the 39th pick. You know, that was pretty close to being a late first round pick.
Why is that?
Brandon Jones, kind of a special teams backup kind of guy. Solomon Kindley's not even on the team anymore. No. That was your 4th round pick. And I don't even know who the fuck the other people are. I think this is the one
that's going to hang Greer.
That's the one that does him in. You know? And even with all the other shit, say you would have gotten Herbert. All right, dude. Forgive you on all the other shit you drafted that draft. You know what I mean? Nobody's going to go back and say that's the worst draft in Dolphin history. But wait a second. We got Herbert out of it. All right.
Quarterback cures everything, dude.
Yeah. Like, what do you think, Hialeah, if we would have had Herbert on this team, hypothetical, how much different would it have been?
How many concussions has Herbert been had since he got into the league?
I don't think he's missed any games really.
Yeah,
Wow, dude, the 20.
And whatever injury he had, he played through.
he played through it exactly. He might have missed a couple of snaps.
The 2013 draft is pretty bad too.
Who do we draft?
Deion Jordan, we traded up to get that with the number 3 overall pick.
That's the one that kills me when you trade up to fucking get a turd.
Jamar Taylor.
Guys, I'm gonna step away for a second. I'm gonna send a quick link. I gotta jump to the other computer real quick. You guys carry on with that draft. I'll be right
Who's
back.
Jamar Taylor? What was he?
He was a
Freaking corner.
Dallas Thomas,
What was he?
an offensive lineman.
You gotta say the position with all of these.
Sorry. Cornerback, Will Davis. Linebacker, Jelani Jenkins. Tight end, Deion Sims. That may have been the best guy from this. Running back, Mike Gillespie.
All right, we get it. That might have been the worst ever.
But to round it off, you use a 5th round pick on a kicker, Caleb Sturgis. That's pretty bad, dude.
Nice. That might rival one of the Raiders picks. Drafts.
Wow, I don't know. That one challenges the 2020. The only difference is that in the 2020 you had 3 first-round picks. You know how hard it is to screw a first-round pick up?
Yeah, the Raiders did it a couple of. Well, you know what? They didn't.
The Raiders did it through multiple years.
Yeah.
but we did it all at once, motherfuckers. We beat you. We didn't fucking spread it out.
In the end of that 2013 draft, we used a 5th round pick on a kicker.
That's not so bad though.
But the problem with that, with the 2020 draft, is they used 3 first-round picks compared, on basically nothing.
I don't mind a 5th round pick on a kicker. Who was the kicker?
Caleb Sturgis.
That guy was okay for a little while.
That name sounds
He
familiar.
bounced around the league a little bit, only because somebody picked him in the 5th round, dude. That guy wasn't good.
Is that a high draft position for a kicker?
Yes.
A 5th?
Yeah.
I think that's kind of where you start picking kickers, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess that would be like a high-end kicker.
That's not unheard of.
A lot of kickers are free agents.
This guy's coming from a Raiders background. He's used to drafting them in the 1st round. He's like,
The
5th
first
round,
round, bro.
It's a
We
bargain.
pick kickers, punters. We pick them
Never
all.
mind.
You're talking to the wrong guy up here. Dude.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
That's a value pick for the
That's
fucking Raiders.
value pick, exactly.
Tank, are you rethinking your Dolphin fandom all this time?
Nah.
It's too late for that.
Yeah,
He's
I'm
all in,
committed.
dude. He's all in.
He can get.
Yeah, my third year, I'm in the playoffs.
This is the time to get out, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Cash in your chips now, baby. This is the time.
You probably
Right now.
haven't invested too much in gear yet. This is the time, dude.
You'll come out looking like a super smart king here, bro. Cash it in.
Is there any scenario where you see the Dolphins winning on Sunday?
Yes. I sent you guys a link about UFO occurrences increasing.
So if the Bills get abducted,
That's been lately, right?
If a flying saucer crashes into the Bills hotel, maybe.
are you tying in the UFO thing because Hialeah's here tonight?
Yes.
Ah, I see. Okay. You're fucking good, dude. You're good, man.
Let's do it. Let's do UFOs, bro. I'm ready.
Did you see the ghost in the background? My flag fell.
Yeah.
I'm ready for the UFO.
And now there's a ladder standing behind me.
I was holding it up.
Actually, no. I sent the UFO thing only because it came out today or whatever.
What does it say? That occurrences are up?
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of new videos out, aren't there?
Are we
And now
gonna
they're
get into this? Are we gonna get into this?
and
Let's
now
do
they're
it.
considering it a military threat.
It's been kind of quiet on the UFO front, right, of late.
But it's
Until now.
UFO. The answer is always UFOs. Aliens is always the answer.
Well, hold on. UFO is they don't even use that right now. What do they call them? Unidentified aerial phenomenon.
Yes.
Aliens.
UAP.
No, it's funny the way they in that article, the headline is, unidentified flying objects increase. They're not aliens, but it's a defense threat. I mean, okay, so you're saying it's China?
China.
What the hell is it? China.
It's the lizard people.
Dude.
You're sure they're not extraterrestrials, but they're a threat.
That just
I mean,
means you think it's another military government.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, that may be worse than aliens.
Yeah, I would think it's probably worse than aliens.
Yeah.
Wouldn't aliens be worse in a sense
No.
No.
that they
No,
got
man.
here
No.
from another planet?
Aliens can probe us.
Yeah.
How is that worse?
And milk our prostate.
You guys are looking for personal benefits. That's what you guys are looking for here, apparently. Get some free health care services provided. So, NFL playoffs. How about there's a couple of records set. How do you guys feel about those records being set now and these guys got an extra game? Does that skew any records for you? Even though I know football's not really like baseball, right? With the sacred records and shit.
The purist.
It's kind of like when it went from 14 games to 16 games. It's the same shit.
Are they going to be saying that? And those were 16-game seasons? Or
they will. They will. But
The undefeated season was a 14-game season.
O.J. Simpson got his 2014 games.
Hey, the 17-game season, if anything, helps the Dolphins, right? Now you got to win an extra game to fucking do that.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
No, actually, you got to win 3 extra games.
Well, when we include the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
So you got to win one more. Sorry. No, even more. Hold on. Wait a second.
Because they won 14 and then 3, right?
Right.
So that's 17 and undefeated. Now, what is it?
You got to do that in the regular season.
Now it's 21.
And either 3 or 4, right? Depends if you have the bye.
Right.
So you're going to have to win either 3 or 4 more games to break that record.
Yeah.
Right, but a lot of people use that to diminish that record.
Well, you can only diminish it once you've done it.
And nobody's done it.
Right? Who's come closest besides the Patriots?
I think San Francisco, didn't they have a 1-loss season?
Tank, maybe you can check that out. What's the
Bears.
The Bears.
The Bears, bro.
The Bears, and I think San Fran only lost one game 1 year.
The Bears only lost the 1 game in 1985. 85 Bears. And there was one of those Niner teams.
I think they went 15-1 or some shit. Maybe one. Did the Giants ever do that? No, I don't believe so.
I remember one year, I think 91 or something, the Niners and the Giants were undefeated.
And there were 10 games played or something.
Yeah.
And they were the next week's Monday night matchup, but then they both lost and they ended up playing with 1 loss each.
Yeah. And I think it was was it 9 or 10 games already played at that time?
They may have been 10-0 and then they played at 10-1 or something like that.
Yeah.
And
I remember that.
I believe that was the year the Giants ended up winning the Super Bowl
Against the Bills?
Yes, with a lot of running. Otis Anderson.
Otis Anderson.
What's that? Yeah, Otis Anderson.
I got the 76 Raiders at 16-1.
Oh, wow. I didn't have that one.
78 Steelers, 12-2. 82 Washington, 12-1.
Shortened season, right? Strike shortened.
Strike season, yeah.
Right.
Do you guys
They-
remember the playoffs of that year?
Yeah, the Raiders lost. I believe. Who did the Raiders lose to? Cincinnati or some shit.
Do you
Yeah.
remember the format of the playoffs?
I think it was the same.
No,
No.
it was. What was it? What year was that?
82.
They did like some
I-
weird format.
I know we beat the Jets in the AFC Championship game.
That was the AJ Dewey game.
Yeah. And funny, they were both from the same division.
Yeah. Richard Todd.
Richard Todd.
Yeah.
How does that happen?
At the Orange Bowl, dude.
How do you play a same? I guess
I guess the Jets were probably a wild card.
How do you play what? I'm sorry, Bum. What are you saying?
we played the Jets, who were from our division in the championship game.
Because they.
Oh no, that happened to us before in '92. We played the Buffalo Bills in the AFC Championship game.
Yeah, it could happen.
Is
Yeah, I
that
guess-
the 82, 83 playoffs?
I believe so.
Yes. I thought, and this is the strike shortened season?
Yes.
82, yeah.
Did they only play 8 games?
I think it was 9.
There was something weird about these playoffs. They used a special 16-team postseason tournament.
The
which
Raiders,
was,
yeah, the Raiders were 8-1 that year or something. They only lost to Cincinnati.
so they didn't use a wild card system.
Well, no, that came later, right?
No, they had wild card the year before this. Let me go back one season, 81, 82.
That was the year we lost to the Chargers in the Epic in Miami.
So you see here, they had this wild card bracket.
Oh yeah.
And then the next year, they not only put these 2 games into this round, but they added, you'll see when I bring it up now, they put 16 teams into the playoffs, and they did 4 from each side,
Oh,
which was
dude, that's
like a
right.
new thing.
The Raiders lost to the Jets, dude. God, I was heartbroken.
Wow, I don't remember that game.
The Jets beat the Raiders, and if not, Miami had to go to the Raiders, bro.
Yeah, we would have probably lost there.
Yeah.
And this was Woodstock, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
But this was an interesting format because they never had that many. This is more than half the league made the playoffs.
There was only, 28 teams back then?
Yes, this is pre-Jaguars, pre-Carolina, pre-Ravens. Well, no, the Ravens are the Browns, right? So pre-Browns, I guess I should say. So what do you have? 28? Who else? There's another one I'm missing, right? That's an expansion team.
Yeah. I can't think of who it is right now.
Houston.
Oh, Houston.
Houston.
So yeah, 28 and 16 made the playoffs. I guess they did that I don't know, because it was such a short season. Because then the next year you went.
The next year was the Raiders one.
Yeah, against Washington.
Yeah.
The next year they went back to the regular system, which is 12 with the wild card.
Dude, the Raiders rocked. Look at the Raiders that year, dude. They fucking rocked.
They kind of whooped everybody.
Everybody's ass.
Scored 30, 38, 30, and 38. Gave up about 11 points a game.
Yeah.
And this is Dan Marino's rookie season. Comes in Game 6 of the season and loses the playoff game against Seattle. And Kurt Warner ran all over us.
Yes. Kurt Warner.
And what I saw the other day, and I shared with the GOAT, dude, the temperature of that game in the Orange Bowl was 51 degrees with a light rain. Talk about home field advantage for the Seahawks.
we were we didn't have to play the wild card game. We were sitting waiting for them to play,
Right.
and we played at home. There's sort of the synopsis with Marv Albert and Bob Trumpy.
Wow.
We should have
dude.
beat that team, right?
51 degrees in fucking the Orange Bowl, dude.
Dude, I read that Fulton Walker is the one who fucked up this game here.
Yeah, he fumbled.
That guy was good.
Fumbled twice.
Yeah.
He was a good player.
He had a kick return.
In the Super Bowl the previous year. Or, yeah, the previous year. That was a record. I don't know if it's still a record.
Was that to start the second half?
Yes.
That kind of got us back in that game, right?
No, that extended our lead.
Yeah.
I think we were up 17-0,
That was the last thing we did.
pretty much. And then
It was didn't Cephalo have like an 81-yard touchdown in that
in the first play of the game.
Start
Yeah.
that game.
In the first play of the game.
But that's rare, dude. You hear about 2 kick returns, like the Bills had for a touchdown. This guy had 2 fumbles back to back on kick returns.
What
That's
a
not
coulda,
good
shoulda,
ball.
sucks.
What was the other year that they striked? 87?
But I don't think they missed games, right, on that?
I don't remember.
That was the scab year, right?
Yeah, you know who one of those scabs was?
Ron
Sean Payton.
Jaworski.
Who?
No, I was gonna say Ron Jaworski, but he wasn't.
No, but Sean Payton was.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for the Bears, if I'm not mistaken.
I didn't know he was a player.
He was a scab player. Let's look up his bio. Make sure I'm not making that up.
He looks like a scab.
He does, dude. Why did that guy leave New Orleans?
I think because he lost his franchise quarterback and he knew that it was going to be heavy rebuilding there.
It's just time to go.
And they still owe a draft pick if somebody wants him, right?
Yes, and you know who's talking to him? He went to Denver and met with them.
Don't they have to ask for permission to talk to him?
I believe so.
Although he was not drafted in the 1987 NFL Draft, Peyton tried out for the Kansas City Chiefs for one day. In 87, he played quarterback for the Chicago Bruisers and Pittsburgh Gladiators during the inaugural season of the Arena Football League before his rights were sold for $1,000 to the Ottawa Rough Riders of the Canadian Football League. He was also a member of the Chicago Bears squad of strike-breaking replacement players known as the Spare Bears during the 1987 NFL player strikes. In 3 games, he completed 8 passes on 23 attempts, 34%. This sounds like Tua stats. 79 yards, no TDs, 1 INT, passer rating 27.3.
Dude, he was sacked 7 times.
For 47 yards. 1 rush attempt for 48. So that means like you still had negative yards on the ground. His 1 interception came against the New Orleans Saints, a team he would later on coach to a Super Bowl victory. In 1988, he played for the Leicester Panthers of the professional UK Budweiser National League.
See, now that's a league I could probably participate in.
Dude, I have
Budweiser.
never heard of this. Have you guys ever heard of this?
No.
Leicester City from the Premier League.
It was a British American football team
Never heard of it.
formed
What?
in 84 and disbanded in 96.
Hello? Can you guys hear me?
Hello, 90.
Uh-oh,
Can you hear me? No?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
my God, dude. Chad, what's up, bro?
Yo, what soccer were you guys looking at? Sorry,
Yeah, you
I was
saw that?
working. Well, I just heard it coming in. I wasn't listening at the moment. I had to take care of some stuff.
How you doing, bro?
But, I'm doing good, man. How's everything?
What's
Oh, yeah,
happening,
doing
man?
good, dude.
You're not in the closet.
Nah, I have to be outside. I can't wake up. I got too many kids and wives in the house now. I'd be waking
Too
everybody
many
up.
wives. This guy's been hanging out with.
Multiple wives.
Yeah, you know.
Are you
Once you
fucking Mormon now all of a sudden, dude?
Yeah, you know, when you watch enough Sister Housewives with your wife, you know, it just starts to bleed in.
Hell yeah, bro. Congratulations, dude.
Yeah.
We were talking about this British football league that Sean Payton played for.
Oh, okay, it was a British football. Okay, I was thinking like
American football.
football. Okay, I was thinking like
Yeah.
world football. I was like, what? What are you talking about? All right, that makes
His
sense.
name was. They were the Leicester. What was it?
Panthers.
Panthers.
Leicester Panthers. Okay.
Chad, is there any chance we're winning on Sunday?
Oh, I didn't send it to you guys. That the speech from Little Giants, where the guy's like, you know, but there was that one time I beat him. Like that's the chance we got right now. Like it's like I even if Tua was playing, I still don't think we win. But our only shot to win, I think, is if Tua played. Despite of what, you know, anyone thinks, you know, about him with his injuries, I think he did show this year he can play the position. Granted, and I know you may see this a little differently, Randy, but if you think about it, compared to what everyone usually complains about him about is actual injuries. Granted, yes, a concussion is a type of injury, but concussions weren't like the issues. You know what I mean? It was more like fragileness. Like, is his body going to be able to keep up with with his hand, the hip, the broken thumb? So I give credit to Tua this year in regards you know, he didn't suffer any type of injuries like that. But of course, this concussion thing is a whole serious subject. And, you know, I've come out and said it to you, like, you know, I still support him. I'm all for him, wish nothing but the best for him. But, you know, his lack of availability at times, of course, is going to hurt this team. And especially when you see how good this team played with him, it only makes you think if he was able to play all those games, what really could have happened. Because I really feel his style of quarterback play fits really well into this offense. And the drop off between him, Teddy, and Skyler was just tremendous.
Teddy looked like he didn't fucking give a shit, dude.
Yeah, he came for the paycheck, though. But we all knew that.
I'm just shocked.
I'm disappointed, man.
Yeah, dislocated finger, and he can't play, man.
Kobe did that.
Yeah, but you're talking about. I mean, we don't know what finger you're throwing the ball, but
yeah, this finger.
Yeah, but also too, like I would be honest, like seeing Teddy and Skyler. I mean, the biggest difference between the two of them, maybe Teddy can read a defense a little better, but I think Skyler's athleticism and his ability to kind of, you know, if he had to, he can move, try to get the first down, bigger body. You know what I mean? He's not he's your stereotypical quarterback in regards of size, right? He's got a big arm, but he's just IQ and his ability to read the defense is just really bad. Like he missed some wide open touchdown passes last week where he tucked the ball in and ran instead of just stepping up and throwing it because Waddle was open on a post route where I was like, wow, how did he miss that? You know?
Yeah. The passes he completed most were really checkdowns.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know. Maybe I will give him this one. Hard to say this when Brock Purdy's kind of fucking turning up, but 7th round pick. Never thought he was gonna play. I gotta kind of give that guy sort of a free pass.
Correct.
Still, you know, once you get down to the 3rd guy, you know, there's only so many Brock Purdy's, dude. That doesn't
no. Hold on, but I agree with you. But this also brings up a point that I wanted to get to as well. Nothing against Brock Purdy, and same thing kind of with our head coach first year, but I think it's an indictment on the system because if the system was so good, because that's what happens in Brock Purdy, Garoppolo, any 3 of those guys can be in that system and they're going to prosper, right? Mike McDaniel didn't do anything to adjust the system or adjust his system to the players that he's playing with in regards to the quarterback position, because maybe that's what, you know, Kyle Shanahan's better at doing. Like, okay, we got our 3rd guy in. Of course, we want to run it somewhat the same, but it's got to be tailored to them. And I think that's the biggest difference because to me, McDaniel goes out every week and it's the same game plan, it looks like. Except for last week, he finally started to run the ball. But every week, it's the same thing. You know, on 3rd and short, he's going to throw it. Like, it felt like once we played San Francisco, we were completely readable after that, offensive-wise.
Yeah, and I think
I'd still rather see Skyler in there tomorrow.
Can you attribute that to being his first year coaching?
A little bit, and I think something I was a little disappointed in, especially this year, is like he was supposed to be some run game guru, and we didn't see any of that. Granted, I understand he has Waddle and Tyreek, and I guess it's like playing Madden. It's like, shiny new toys or cars. And I get that, but I was kind of disappointed we didn't see more of this like run game, or even if it wasn't using your running backs, but like his blocking schemes were something that everyone talked about. I didn't see anything out of the ordinary with the blocking schemes with the run game.
But when they did run the ball, it was actually pretty good. They just never stuck with it.
Yeah.
No, correct.
Yeah, and I think the other thing, the defense
He refused to stick with it.
The defense has gotten a tremendous pass. Dude, that defense does not produce turnovers. It does not help the offense shit.
No, hold on, Bum. I counter that, and I think the defense does not get enough credit, because if you look at every game that we played, we were in the game until the end, and our offense failed us and didn't score points. Granted, what your defense can only be out there so long getting gassed by teams where you're giving up 3 and outs. And if you also look about how much injuries we had on the defense, I hear what you're saying about the turnovers, but we're playing with 4th and 5th round guys, and we're still managed to be in games. I don't think he gets enough credit with what he's done with this defense.
I think how he's managed the injuries has been good, but the bottom line, that defense hasn't really won anything for them. It didn't protect that offense many times.
They won the last game for him. What I will say, and by the way, Chad,
they won that Pittsburgh game.
No,
yeah, Chad, I know you're taller than him, but you are starting to look like Mike McDaniel. I just want to warn you. The defense, I said it's we've had chances to win. Yes, you're right, Bum. No, nothing dynamic for the defense, but they're down, bro. A bunch of fucking guys. Imagine where we would be without the years of Phillips and Wilkins have had, who I was.
But think about this: no Byron Jones, which is huge. And also, I know you guys brought up Brandon Jones, but Brandon Jones is probably like one of the better safeties that we had, and we were hurting without him. My thing about this defense, and I'm sorry, I think this defense the last couple of years, in a sense, has been expected to do too much, because as Dolphin fans, we expect the defense to kind of save us or pull us out of games at this point, because our offense has been so bad. But I think what our defense has done the last 3 years specifically, and I've said it on this show, and I kept saying, our defense has not been anything amazing. They bend and don't break, and they make plays usually when you need to make a play. It's not like some crazy amount of turnovers or anything like that. And X obviously this year was hurt, and you could why he was even out there. To me, I'm like, why isn't this guy just resting? If he's got this groin injury every week, just rest him. Let him be 100%. But I think
can't even count on that corner they drafted on the first round to play, dude. That's crazy, dude.
Yeah, but
why
they found
even roster that guy at this point?
I mean, it's because of the salary cap. You have to remember that's the biggest thing with the NFL. People don't realize that salary cap impacts everything, every decision they make in regards of who they keep.
You got to find somebody better than that guy off the street. They did with Cater. Thank God they found that guy.
No, but we drafted Cater. Oh no, he was free.
I believe he was undrafted.
Right. Yeah, he was undrafted. He was undrafted. You're right.
I think everything we just talked about may be Chris Greer's speech to Stephen Ross in the offseason. Hey, our defense was injured. We still kind of, hung in there. We need to run the ball a little bit more and protect Tua, and we'll be fine. That's going to probably be the speech.
That shit's got to get old at some point, dude.
Yeah, but you have to think about, and I know you were talking. I heard it a little bit earlier, Randy, and you guys were talking about the picks, and I have other buddies that they're already, they're like, hey, would you take this quarterback? Would you take that quarterback? And everyone that's about to come available, well, we can't, one, afford most of them, and then two, we're gonna have to trade for some of them. We have nothing. Like, we're stuck with Tua.
They're gonna make some room, dude. There's creative ways that they can make 50 million cap space by doing some moves. They'll do something. I keep hearing this fucking Brady thing, dude, which
that's not happening, because we'd have to trade for him, and we don't have picks.
No, he's a free agent.
Oh, is he? But
yeah.
But how much money is he gonna want? We don't have any money.
Dude, we're gonna make some money. We're gonna find a way to make some money, and they're gonna fucking say, "We'll give you fucking little piece of the team. We'll give you fucking." I swear to, they were gonna do that right before. We'll give you a position.
But this is the question I ask you then. Outside of the injuries, right? And I understand your point or where you stand on Tua, Randy. And I also want to know what you think.
All love, bro. We don't want to go there, dude.
No. But outside of the injuries, based off of what Tua showed you this year when he did play, you think he did enough to lose his job? I'm not talking injury-wise. I'm just talking about based on play.
That is not real life scenarios, but I'll play your game if you want to answer that, because obviously the best ability is availability. But let's just look at stats then in the games that he did play. I thought they absolutely feasted, I said it earlier, on the weaker teams with the play calling and,
but those are the games we usually lose. So to me, I felt like that was a step in the right direction because those are the games we lose when we're supposed
you
to
certainly
win.
don't want to lose them.
So, I mean, granted, to your point, we feasted on them. Good. We did our job. That's what we should be doing.
No. Good. But then, you remember, I told you guys a lot, hey, the season starts in San Francisco for me. That's when and then when you look at that chunk, that was not good quarterback play, other than you could say the Bills game. Every other game was just not good quarterback play, and I could probably pin almost all those games on him, other than the Bills game.
But I don't think he was that bad in the Chargers game. The Chargers game, to me, came down to play.
Oh, my God, dude, he had 3 completions at the half at that game.
But he turned it around towards the end. And to me, it was
Tyreek
play
Hill
calling.
Doesn't run back a fumble, freak play.
Yeah.
That we still don't know if it's legal.
We don't even know the rules on that yet.
I think the 2 games you pin on him is the Packer game and the Charger game.
But then, as this guy is controversial and always sort of, then people say, well, he had a concussion, that's why he threw the 3 picks. So, like, always that comes into play. So, right? There's people that are going to say that yes, he threw 3 picks, but remember, he was concussed early on. So that may be why he threw the picks. So, but I thought the Buffalo game, when it got cold, that's when we got cold. But, the Chargers game, he played terrible, dude. Come on, you got to own that one.
Okay.
Charger and Packer game. I think that's really the one you could pin on.
San Francisco. Has 2 picks and a fumble. You usually don't win that.
But I also think the play calling was really bad in San Francisco because there was no adjustments made.
McDaniel did not help him. You're right.
No, I would agree more to the Chargers Packers game, and I feel like San Fran, he didn't get help there, and that was like McDaniel's first, I guess, test, and he definitely wasn't passing the master yet, right?
That game, if you go and look at the stats, watch the game again or whatever. I don't know if anybody wants to relive that nightmare, but if he doesn't throw, it's just easy to say, right? That opening bomb, the rest of the game is really bad.
No, I agree. But also, too, I can say this, and I maybe not speak for you guys, but I'm sure that right there, going into the San Fran first play, highlight of the Dolphin season. Like, every Dolphins fan at that point, because it was San Fran, first play touchdown, we're going to the Super Bowl.
That was the peak. That was the peak of our season.
And then just down to everybody.
What is that? The Spartans that they all fly off the fucking cliff, or I don't know what movie that is. Then immediately after that's what that was.
100%. It was like
300.
It totally peaks, and then just from that point on, just downhill, bro. And that's where it was.
He never threw for 300 yards again, and that was like the 300 movie. They're all fucking. But yeah, at that point, there's probably people fucking looking at Super Bowl tickets on their computer and shit. And
roller coaster ride season, man.
Guys, I gotta head out.
All right, Tank.
Later, Tank.
Thanks for coming to hang out, bro.
You good, Tank?
So yeah, for sure, that was the moment, and then after that, it got dicey after that.
But I think the Bills game, he showed up, and to me, that was another game that was more on coaching. And I can't be mad at losing in Buffalo to a 2-second field goal, even though
that game you shouldn't be mad at.
But
No.
I that one to me came down to coaching, because there was a couple of calls where I was just like, man, what do we once again stopped running the ball when we were like, kind of taking care of business with that, and it was cold, so why wouldn't you just keep running the ball?
Which ones were the ones that Sanders fucked up down the stretch?
Braylon Sanders?
The kicker.
Jason.
Oh, Jason? Yeah, but you know what? I think that's funny, because remember when everyone wanted to get rid of him? It was the stretch where when at Jets game he missed stuff. It was the Jets game. It was also
one of those games that he kind of straight up almost that ended up being the difference in the game.
I think it was
Well,
the Jets
you
game.
could say the Patriots game. That was the difference.
Yeah, but he wasn't terrible in the Patriots
He
game.
missed-
There was
oh,
other
he missed
games
the
that
field
were
goal.
but there was other games where he missed like 2 or 3. But you know what? I thought, and shout out to McDaniel on this one. When everyone wanted him gone, he's like, I have faith in him. And regardless, even though he missed the Patriot one, he hit the one to put him in the playoffs. He came through when sometimes it's not
That
about
was
how
a
many
50-yarder. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a 50-yarder.
and sometimes it's not about how many you make, but when you make them. So, I think Sanders, to me, redeemed himself from the beginning of the year, but I would still be looking for a kicker, because there was games that were definitely pinned that we lost on him. It was that game, and then it was definitely the Jets game. And who did we play after the Jets?
Vikings?
Yeah, Vikings was the other game that we were missing stuff for sure.
And he does have kind of like a history. The Jaguars a couple years back, he straight up missed that kick at the end of the game.
Yeah,
Cost
in
us that
London.
game. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know. We got to give that guy competition at minimum, I think.
I agree with you.
Maybe you go Raiders style first round. Well, we don't have a first round. Sorry. Second round.
Second round.
Second round still value, right, Aelia, for kicker?
Yeah, that's a value pick.
You might not find the best kicker in college on the second
But you'll
round.
find one.
It depends where the Raiders are drafting that year, but you might just get the second best kicker.
Uh-huh.
in the NFL.
So
They did do a punter too. No, they didn't do a punter.
They did a punter. Yeah, they selected Ray Guy in the first, in the
Yes.
seventh, and like 71, 69 maybe.
But
You know
he was
what I
a
will say
Hall of
about
Famer.
those scenarios? Ray Guy, Hall of Fame, Janikowski, fucking played there a long time.
They also picked Shane Leckler in the 4th. The same year they picked up Janikowski.
Oh my god!
So they took a kicker in the 1st and
A
Leckler
punter.
in the 4th. And Leckler is one of the greatest punters as well.
and he
Yeah.
played there a while.
And he played for well over 10 years. Yeah, he was a fucking beast.
And there was a long snapper in the second round, and then a holder in the third.
There
round,
you
right?
go. There you go.
Equipment manager in the fifth.
Yeah,
round.
they picked up the long snapper. They picked Don Mosbar
The perfect core to
right
build your team.
before. They picked up Don Mosbar right before the Dolphins picked Dan Marino.
What year was
You can look it up. That's true.
what year was Janikowski?
98, 99 maybe?
Yeah, somewhere in there. 2001, right in that area.
Sebastian Janikowski.
Yeah.
Seabass. And then they picked
Uh,
Shane Leckler in the 4th.
2000, dude.
Yeah, man, yeah.
Isn't that when Brady was drafted?
Right around there, yeah.
This guy's younger than Brady, dude.
He played for a long time, dude.
Yeah, he did.
2018 was his last year with the Seahawks.
Yeah.
Let's look at that real quick. NFL Raiders draft 2000.
Well, we all know what happened in 2007.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's when they drafted their quarterback. Raiders they picked the good ones over there.
Yeah,
Is
he
that,
was real good.
Jamarcus?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was Jamarcus.
Oh my god.
Yo, stereotypical quarterback, cannon of an arm, big guy, but just terrible football.
Yeah,
No,
Jerry,
I don't-
that was actually a good draft. Jerry Porter
Pretty good.
he was pretty good. Junior Ione, he was a fucking defensive tackle. He was okay. The last guy was sucked. The last couple guys sucked. But Shane Leckler and Sebastian Janikowski, they were all pros.
I'll give you a hint. When you're looking on Pro Football Reference, if the guy's name does not even provide a hyperlink, that means that was a bad pick.
Dude, look at Sebastian, 18 years. Leckler, 18 years.
Porter,
they're
9.
Yeah, but they're also playing a position that if you're good at it, you could do that.
But they were really good at it.
I wonder
Leckler,
what other players they could have had.
It's especially because those guys were kicking a lot.
in
You're right.
in the Sebastian, they could have got the running back from Alabama that went to Seattle. I believe he went to Seattle. Oh, fucking this guy, the guy that fucking got all the fucking touchdowns. For
Sean
Seattle,
Alexander.
They could have got Alexander.
Yeah, the pick immediately following him was Chad Pennington and then Sean Alexander.
Yeah.
Trunk candidate.
That was
Rams.
a running back, right?
Yeah, they got him while they still had Marshall Faulk. I think this was the draft of was this the draft that then the Patriots won the Super Bowl after this draft? Possibly.
Don't remember.
Or maybe not. Maybe they had already won it. What else do you guys want to talk about before we get out of here? Anything on your personal agendas? Oh, Hialeah mentioned something, and it's a throwback now to the beginning of the show. The Skip Bayless tweet during the Bengals-Bills game with the Damar Hamlin injury. Let me look it up again if I
Why
can
did
find
people
it.
get so pissed?
Why not?
That guy's known to be a dick, though.
Yeah, but
No,
that's
I don't like him.
That's the
But-
character he's playing. That's what he wants.
The guy's a dick, but that tweet he just said what everybody else was fucking thinking, bro.
No, that's not true. Not everyone was thinking about it, but
Okay, 99% of people were fucking thinking it, bro.
I mean, I guess.
And then he kind of corrected it by saying, "You know what? But it really doesn't matter now." And still, he got a ton of shit.
Yeah, but yeah, what going back after he said he was getting heat? It's like, oh yeah, that's like,
No, it was part of his original tweet. He kind of said it's irrelevant now, and it's like nobody saw that part.
He said something to the effect of, "How can I want to find the actual tweet to not?"
Yeah,
Find the actual tweet.
I'm gonna find it.
Yeah.
Tank, can you look that
Okay,
up?
I got it. Here we
It's
go.
not here, bro. He left.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, bro. Come on, bro.
All
I'm
right.
slacking. I'm out of practice.
So Skip Bayless, here's his tweet. While this thing is happening, 9:30 p.m. I guess the game had been stopped for like about 30 minutes at this point. No doubt the NFL is considering postponing the rest of this game. But how? This late in the season, a game of this magnitude is crucial to the regular season outcome, which suddenly seems so irrelevant.
I really don't see anything wrong with that shit, dude. I'm sorry.
I don't either.
I don't see anything wrong with that fucking tweet. And people were getting so fucking pissed, but I don't see nothing wrong with it.
I don't either.
I mean, it's true. It was an important game. The NFL was considering canceling it. The but how is, yeah, how? This has never happened. This is unprecedented. And then he, at the end, says, yeah, and it seems irrelevant at this point.
And everything he said was right.
Yeah.
And then his co-host didn't go the next day, I guess because he was so offended by this. And then that whole next day when he did come back, the other day, was very awkward.
Yeah, they
I
went
don't know
at
if you
it.
guys saw any of that.
Yeah, they went at it.
He wouldn't even let him finish his opening monologue. Come on, Skip. You won't even let him finish my monologue.
Which is wrong on Skip Bayless.
Yeah.
Like I've said, I'm not a fucking fan of Skip Bayless, but that tweet, the heat that he got, I don't see why.
I don't either.
Okay, maybe as a fan, but I can see why maybe someone like his co-host Shannon Sharp or like a football player, because being on the and I can't speak for it, but imagine if you're a football player, not just are you a part of this team, but you're part of like a community in a sense. You literally see one of your own people die right there on there. That's like, like us doing the show right now and someone just croaks on the show. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, we got to just keep rolling on. I mean, Chad's okay or whatever. So I think someone that they might have taken it personally when they shouldn't have, but also too, I can see why people gave him backlash, because in a sense it was a little insensitive to the moment, but also too at the same time there's so much commotion going on, and you're like, well, trying to get all the details of everything. So I'm sure he's just tweeting out as he's waiting, thinking that it's going to go back on, because I think everyone thought the game was going to resume. So
I think if you say, man, how could they stop this game? I think the NFL did the wrong decision here. We got to play this. We've always played. Well, that one sounds.
But he didn't. But he
Right.
didn't come nowhere near.
That's what
It's
I'm
almost
saying.
like he was thinking out loud, dude. It seems
Yeah.
like.
But
He
to
was,
me,
he was rationalizing what's going on,
Yeah.
and like I thought he probably said what everybody was thinking.
And that's what I just
Yeah.
mentioned. I think
Yeah.
99% of the people were probably thinking that, or maybe not 99, but the majority were
No,
thinking that.
I think he did say it. He did say it that way, but he just came off it like it's in the way you present things. But to your point, Randy, he did say that it's an important game. The NFL usually goes on and continues when other injuries happen. So what's going on? He did say it, but he said it in a way where maybe a little more digestible. But he did say that. It just wasn't maybe out front and as blunt as that.
But at the end, he did say, at the end of it's almost like he said, at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter because it's irrelevant. But what's irrelevant? That this guy got hurt, or it's irrelevant?
Playing the game.
The game.
Is irrelevant.
Okay, but did he say playing the game is irrelevant? Or he
Said-
just said,
That's how I took it.
yeah, like how can they play this game, which now seems irrelevant
Exactly.
after what's happened?
I just don't see why he got so much backlash. And like people in the Johnson League chat, they were saying stuff, and I was like, I didn't comment, but I was like, dude, he really didn't say anything.
The other different scenario, different circumstances, but also in the outrage universe, right? Which is very alive and well. You guys heard about this or seen this Dana White situation, right?
Something with this domestic violence or something.
Yeah, like
Yeah, he
they
slapped
have
his
this
wife.
video of them in like a club. His wife slaps him, and then he gives her like 2 back.
yeah,
And
and
then they
luckily
were-
his
they were-
homeboy was there, because if not, he was gonna keep hitting her, man.
Yeah, it looked like he was.
He was
wasn't
gonna
done.
keep going at, yeah, for
So
sure.
there's video of this.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, it looks pretty nasty. But ESPN does a lot of business with them, and they were getting shit for not really being that vocal about it. Like they weren't really. You didn't hear so much about that, and they usually will really get behind any kind of one of those type of stories. But it's the dollar, dude. Obviously, they
At
do.
the end of the day, it's the dollar, bro.
Yeah.
They'll sweep it out under the rug.
What else you got, Bum? I see you have something on your mind.
Oh, I was just looking at some porn. Sorry. No. No, I was looking at some stats.
Sure you were.
Yeah.
Bra size? What are you looking at? Panty size?
Cups.
but going, and that's right. It's the dwell and the skip thing and the Hamlin thing. But I mean, I can see what you guys are saying, and at the same time, I mean, you can even argue the inconsistency with the NFL. I could get like the guy had a cardiac arrest there, but I guess to bring up a sore subject. But think about when we all saw Tua go down and the way he went down, and if you put things like, let's say he didn't recover from that, right? Let's say he didn't. In retrospect, people would have gone back and like they never should have played the rest of that game, like because of the way he went and the body went. Like I feel like it's always like the moment and kind of like what the outcome is that
I remember
drives all that.
Watching that game, and I was going to do a post game, so I was watching the game, and then of course the game was delayed for I don't know, 15, 20, whatever, for a while. And like the look on his teammates' faces, especially Waddle, I remember, not the same as the look on the Bills, but we're in the same ballpark.
Oh,
Like those guys were
100%.
like, "What the fuck just happened to my fucking homie?" You know? Yes. Why is he throwing up the gang signs? What the fuck? Like I don't
That-
even feel
that-
like fucking playing. They probably didn't feel like playing either. Most of those fucking guys after that shit happened. Not just like how's he doing? Where is he? What happened? What was
They have
that?
to just go out and continue playing while they have no idea what's happening with their homie.
Usually when somebody gets concussed, it's not like that. You know,
You don't usually
that's the
see
first
that.
time I've seen.
Well, no, that's not.
That was
that's,
scary. That was
No,
scary.
No, I think that's a common thing. It just, I guess, depending on the person or whatnot. But that's like a sign, I believe.
I understand that, but we haven't seen that.
You know where
Yeah,
you only see
to
that,
that extent.
Hialeah? Sometimes you see that in combat sports. Sometimes
Yeah.
the guy goes down and like his hands
Yes,
are out
yeah.
or something like that. You see some version of that,
Yeah.
but it's really like a combat sport kind of fucking knockout blow where the guy just instantly loses like control of their limbs and shit. But yeah,
Right.
I mean, short of getting paralyzed or CPR, that one
I
was
had
pretty fucking
never,
scary.
it never crossed my mind to stop a game until the Hamlin game. I'll put it to you that way. Even with the Tua, I never thought, oh, they're not going to stop. They're going to stop playing. They're not going to play this game. That never crossed my mind until Hamlin.
Because we've seen enough over the years of those type of situations,
Right.
Immobilized guys or like a fucking blown out knee, really. Whatever. That's not a big deal, right?
I've heard one player. I mean, I heard some story after this whole Hamlin thing, and this guy was talking about, yeah, man, when I first got into the league, we were having practice, and some guy blew out his knee. It was fucking horrible. And the coach was just like, hey, just guys, let's move over here. Let's let them do their thing, and let's keep going over here.
Yeah, I think that was Pat McAfee.
You heard that, right?
Yeah.
And that's basically it's always been that way, except for this which was different.
And then when the Hamlin thing happened, I think the bum and I were talking about it. I hadn't thought about it. He was like, I wonder what Tua and his family are thinking now.
Devastating.
After the things that have happened to him and like, yes, super freak occurrence what happened to Hamlin, but the concussions and all this new, not new, being brought out to the light new. It's always happened.
Yeah.
But now it's like so out there.
Yeah. It's crazy because Hamlin the week before he got hit he had like a targeting hit that wasn't called. You can go look at it. Yeah, a lot of people are calling for him to get hit for targeting, but he didn't. It was at the end of back at the end of the end zone. It was a nasty hit, but he was fine. But like to your point, the way that hit happened, it wasn't even like okay
that was a standard tackle,
bro, for sure.
It was routine.
For Tua, it was routine, but the way he fell and hit his head, okay, you're like, okay, we can see what happened there, right? And what
why does he always fall like that? Why does he always fall?
Don't know.
Like that?
And even this last one, if you look at it, it was like, bro, it was a normal tackle. Like it's just the way he I don't know. You got to learn how to fall, guy. Like
the 3 concussions are the same. Getting sort of hit or tackled, and you fall, and your head bounces.
Yeah, that's something that I heard Joe Rose said. He was like saying, I've never seen a guy get ragdolled like this guy does that many times.
And that's a good. And then the other thing too,
that's a good term for it.
Yeah, the
ragdolled.
And something that I've always brought up, and even on all 3 of those, the biggest problem is he's not getting rid of the ball. He's holding on to the ball or trying to make something happen, and it's instead of just throwing the ball away. Like Dan Marino maybe rolled out of the pocket, but he made a decision and got rid of the ball.
This.
Yeah, and then throw the ball away, and you're protecting yourself. I think the biggest indictment on Tua is the fact, regardless of his fragility. If he would just throw the ball away, he wouldn't be taking these unnecessary hits. And he
When
would be
did you
more
ever see
available.
Peyton Manning get hit like that, bro? Getting his neck snapped like that? Never. That guy would collapse. The minute the guy felt like he was gonna it's done, he would just collapse.
I haven't vetted this, but allegedly this is the play that he had that horrific injury against.
And it was about 5 seconds. Go back and look. Even if you look at his injuries in college,
You should not be fucking devastated.
you should be throwing the ball away. If
With that
nothing is
pocket.
there at that point, then you throw it away. Exactly.
Or
And if
run or something.
No, don't run. Throw it away. Just
There's
throw
so
it
many
away.
options
There's
Yeah.
options, exactly.
other than getting killed.
Yeah.
Right
And
there,
it-
he could have ran to the left and he would have got something.
Like, all right, take a
And
sack where
slide.
you
And
take a
slide.
sack where you fall down, like Brady does so many times. How many times do we see Brady just sort of fall
Yep,
on
he knows
himself?
it's coming.
before-
No, I'm with you. And if you go back and look at his hip injury and the other the ankle injury that he had in college, I timed it. It's when he holds onto the ball for about 5 seconds. Any other time, there's no
Okay.
issues.
So
the
is
hip
that a
injury
co-
was
is
sort
that
of like a
coaching
ragdoll
issue?
one too, right?
Yeah.
They kind of
Yeah.
ragdolled and rolled on him.
Yeah.
Is that a coaching issue then?
No, I don't think it's a coaching issue because there's footage of Tua in high school being interviewed by somebody and they ask him about that. And he's like, yeah, my dad doesn't like it. And he's always telling me to try to, I got to protect myself and get rid of the ball. But the player in me wants to, make something happen. And that's something that
Then what is he? He's just fucking obtuse?
I don't want to say he's obtuse. And they've talked about it because McDaniel talked about it in the beginning of the year when this all first happened, and Tua acknowledged his problem is that he tries to create stuff when things aren't there, but he's not the body type of a Josh Allen, a Justin Herbert.
But Chad, isn't that something that could get coached?
No, because it's a mental thing in him. It's not.
But you gotta fucking better yourself. You're not gonna stay.
How many times were you playing Madden and you used the throw the ball away button?
How many times did I do that?
Yeah,
A few times,
A
depending.
few.
But also,
you guys are more disciplined than me then.
but also too, like
I was Tua. I would.
I
never fucking
yeah,
throw a ball
I
away.
in a
Yeah, but you're
Madden
not also
game,
at
I
risk.
never used it.
You were never at risk of getting fucking concussed
Well, yeah,
playing Madden.
I
There
had
is
that
that.
advantage.
Yeah, but Raul, to go back to your thing, is that something that could be coached out of him? No,
I
because
could not
that's one
coach
of the
that out of me. I could never fucking use the throwaway button. in
yeah.
Madden.
But to me, that's like part of his makeup of DNA, how he's played the game all of his life, right? At that point, coaches can tell him till they're blue in the face, but that's one of those things. It's like a drug addict. You can't. You need to help yourself at this point. We can only do so much.
He can't. He can't get it.
No, obviously not, because he
There's
keeps.
something wrong
doing it.
there. No.
I mean,
So, what do we do to get out of this guy
we're stuck with him. We can't get out. But
for one more year?
one more year because they're not going to take the. What I see is they're going to use him next year for his last year. Probably won't extend him. Because of
Not pick up the option, you mean?
yeah, they're not going to pick up the option. No,
But maybe they resign him afterwards if he does well.
if it's cheaper, because you have to remember he's going to want to get paid at that point. So if we're not going to pay him to be our franchise quarterback, as crazy as it may sound, somebody else probably will.
Not at that money.
I mean, not at like top dollar, but I
I don't
guarantee
think anybody's going to give him $300 million.
After
not 300 million. But
After-
they're going to give him more than we're going to give him because we already saw it here.
After next year, do you guys see him as a starter in the NFL?
If he can stay healthy, yes. If not, he'll be a backup.
Somebody else will take a chance on him.
Yeah, for
That's
sure,
only the
100%.
case.
But
That's only the case.
not at that type of money.
No.
Not
No.
at max, but they're going to give him more than what we would give him because we've already saw it. I guarantee he's going to feel like we lowballed him, go somewhere else, and he'll get a little more.
I say he's out of the league in 3 years, and maybe even 2.
I mean, we talked about this before too.
Yeah.
Because I think we're in store for a similar type of season next year.
I agree.
Because if just based on history, if we're just going to go on history,
That's all we got.
and if you ask yourself, is there any quarterback that's had the injury history that he had coming out of college that he's had his first 3 years in NFL and has magically turned that around to become a 16, 17, even 15 game a season guy. Can you guys who've watched 40 years, 100 years combined amongst you three, I'll throw in my 30, 120, 130 years combined between all of us. Combined, bum, not just you.
Thanks.
I know you thought I was saying just you. But between all of us, we've seen probably 120 years, right? Can I say that maybe? 120 years of football? How long you guys been watching football?
Yeah,
I mean,
about 40 years, 40 something
Yeah.
years.
well,
40,
I'm a
40,
little
I
younger
can
than
add
you
what,
guys.
20
43 years, 47, 44 years.
I give myself like 30, 120, 130 years.
I'll give
Do
myself
you know
25.
any example like him that has then, from this point on, gone on to turn it around and be successful, have a successful career? Is there anybody even
after all
close?
the injuries?
Of
What's
an
that?
injury-related player, no.
I mean, the only one that I can say, I mean, they're not. I think it's more apples to oranges, not apples to apples. But you could say Drew Brees. Not to say that he was injury prone coming into the league, but his size was questioned, that type of stuff, and then he got hurt. And I'm sure after he got hurt, people, as we did, we labeled him. Well, is this guy going to be durable enough for us to, want to make him our franchise quarterback and this and that? But I think that's more of an apples to oranges comparison, not apples to apples.
The only guy
That was a one injury though, and he never really.
Yeah, but
Had
Drew
more, right?
Brees also had other injuries throughout his career where he missed a couple games with a finger or stuff like that. To me, granted, since he's been in the NFL, yes, has he missed games, but he hasn't missed whole seasons. I mean, and then his rookie year wasn't. I think his rookie year is not really on him because that was the back and forth between him and Fitzpatrick, Flo, and this and that. So I don't really hold his rookie year against him. His sophomore, yeah, he got the rib injury, and then this quote unquote broken thumb, but he comes in the game and won the game. So that's something I didn't understand too, with that one.
The only guy that I can think of that remotely reminds me of him, on the spot is Sam Bradford for the Rams.
But Bradford wasn't injury prone coming in. He was like the hot guy getting
But
drafted.
that's what I'm saying. But he was still kind of not the biggest guy. He was kind of frailish guy. He's the only guy that kind of reminds me of him. It's not exact.
Apples to oranges, because think about it. Sam Bradford was the number 1 overall pick. Tua would have been the number 1 overall pick if he didn't blow out his hip.
No, I'm just saying that's the only guy that I could remotely kind of compare. That's it. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying he's exact.
I'm gonna pull him up next, Hialeah. But here's Breeze. Now, refresh my memory. When we could have gotten Breeze was after this last San Diego season.
Yes.
He played 16 games that year. I guess he was hurt at the end.
Yeah, and then Phillip Rivers came in.
Right.
But he
Yeah,
didn't.
he had the busted wing.
Yeah,
But he didn't
Right.
miss. He didn't miss much time, dude. Look at these games. Every year he's playing like 16, 15, 16, 15, 16. I would take somebody, and Breeze is not that somebody, I don't think, but I would take somebody like Burrow who missed the season and then came back, good. Manning who missed the season, came back, good. Who else? There's been multiple guys that missed the season and then came back and good. But I think what really handcuffs a team and cripples a team is a guy that you don't know week to week if he's going to be there. Then it just, who's in? Teddy? No, Skyler. No, back to Tua. No, now this guy. That's what really fucks you up, dude. If you miss a year because you blew out your knee, like Brady. Brady's known, blew out his knee, never again, unless he's deflating footballs, he's not missing games. I'll take, fine. You'll have 1 year you blow out your knee. But every other game, I'm counting on you.
The main reason they moved from Breeze was, supposedly his shoulder. They also picked Phillip Rivers in the first round, dude.
Yeah,
Easier to
also,
get rid of him, right? That way.
also too, I think Breeze was probably coming up on a contract year.
It could have been. It could have
And
been different
they were
factors.
looking,
Yeah.
they were looking at, you know what? At this point, we can go with our rookie guy. He's going to keep us under the salary, or we're going to be, have more with the salary cap to play with. So let's just cut ties with Drew Brees. He just injured his throwing shoulder, so I can see why San Diego moved on. And a lot of the times, a lot of the decisions made in the NFL by all these teams and players has to do with that salary cap.
And dude, they went from Breeze to fucking Rivers. It wasn't the worst fucking decision,
but
you
Philip Rivers didn't win them no Super Bowl.
He didn't, but they also didn't have a freaking Sean Payton as a coach.
I mean, I mean, I'm not
They
trying
were in
to.
the playoffs a lot though. With
I'm not trying to throw any shade.
Phenomenal teams, dude.
Yeah,
in San
Philip
Diego.
Rivers was like that era's Dan Marino. to me.
Yeah, totally.
He just didn't go to one.
Yeah.
That's Bradford right there. He
It
played.
seemed like he was always injured, dude. Except
Yeah,
for
he
that
played
first season.
16 games, 2 out of the first 3 years, and then in between he had a 10-game season, a 7-game season, and then he kind of did a little journeyman thing: Philadelphia, Minnesota, Arizona. But like even this one, yeah, I can see where it's something like it, but it's not
It's
even
something, but it's not exactly either. I can't think of one.
And then again, we can't say, yep, he turned it around. Look, in the end, no. At age 31, he was retired.
No, he
and
didn't.
he was barely playing. So the odds are,
I give him 3 years tops.
Yeah, and
I'm thinking more like 2 years.
Yeah, and maybe just one as a Dolphin.
He might next year might be his last starting, big start the season kind of starter kind of thing. It might be next year, might be his last shot.
You know where I look at him, Hialeah? I could see him becoming like a pretty good backup, super sub kind of guy. Mm-hmm. Hey, my dude's injured. Bring this guy for a short spell here, 2-3 games.
Carson Wentz. He'll be a Wentz.
Yeah, he'll be like a fucking one of those kind of guys. Like a high level.
He'll be like a Teddy Bridgewater. He'll be a Teddy Bridgewater.
Exactly. With the beanie like I have on.
But I think he has more talent than Teddy Bridgewater, though.
I think he does too. I do.
I don't think. I mean,
Teddy was never a super talented guy either. He was more like
but
game
his
manager.
IQ is there. Yeah, his IQ is like that's the one thing with Teddy Bridgewater is his IQ is there for the game. Like,
but you know what, Teddy Bridgewater, I think always kind of knew his limitations. Like that guy was never trying to fucking, and his coaches knew that too. They were never trying to.
No,
nobody was building a team around that guy.
But he was going to be good, and he got hurt in preseason. And he blew in practice, I think it was.
Carson Wentz for like 3 years, though. That guy was like MVP caliber. After his injury, he just never recovered.
He might be a better example, actually.
Yeah,
because he was like MVP caliber. I remember that he was lighting everybody.
And like what Randy's saying, he's kind of like Tua. He never learned not to fucking take a hit.
Let me pull up Wentz here. There was a time they were talking about this guy as like the next,
Oh, for sure. And even though he didn't play that Super Bowl, we all know he's the reason they got to that Super Bowl that year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
16 games, 13 games, 11 games, 16 games, 12 games. He started 17 games last year. He had 27 touchdowns. But his career record, 46, 45, and 1. 151 touchdowns, 66 picks. Those would have been brilliant stats like 30 years ago.
Wow, dude, that guy did not last as a Colt, man. Like, he played basically 1 year, and then they got the hell out of it.
That's what's happening with Matt Ryan.
He had some horrible interceptions last year in that season.
Yeah.
The thing is, you know who is it, Dennis? We know who you are, your record. Dude, he's 46, 45, and 1. He's average.
He is who he thought he was.
Yeah, he's average.
But the Colts have kind of been doing that, like, since
ran a quarterback.
Like, all right, this year we're gonna roll out
since
Rivers. This year we're gonna since Luck, it's like here's Rivers, here's Wentz, here's Jacoby Brissett, here's Matt Ryan. Who knows who the fuck it's gonna be? Who knows who's gonna be next?
There's Andrew Luck. There's a comparison. Because granted, he had a couple years where he played, but Andrew Luck was hurt a lot. I felt like,
but he didn't miss a lot of games though, except for that towards the end, right? Before that, he was fucking getting destroyed, but he kept playing.
Let's look up Wentz.
Luck.
Well, Luck, a lot of people had pegged fucking like Hall of Fame.
Bro,
he was on the way there. He was good.
Yo, we could have had Andrew Luck if we would have lost some games, bro. We were 0-7, and then we went 9-7 on the season. I'll never forget it because I was on the suck for luck bandwagon much.
He was a stud, though, man. He was
in college. The guy was a stud.
Even in the pros, he was good, dude. He was just on bad.
Look at those first 3 seasons.
He was fucking good.
40 touchdowns the third season, 11-5 every year. The first 3 years, they were in the playoffs. I think all those years.
Yeah.
After going 1-16, I think the year they drafted him.
I will tell you, look at the interception column. I always thought this guy was a little bit careless with the ball at times.
He was Brett Favre-esque.
Yeah.
I don't know if they have his rushing stats. He also did have a lot of. Let's see. Where's the fumbles category here? Look at that's a lot of fumbles there.
But are those fumbles lost?
10, damn.
Those might not have all been lost, though.
Lost or not, you don't want to see. You should be even.
But he was getting beat up,
and he did like to kind of run, man. He was running for like 300 yards a year.
Does it say his sacks? How many times he was sacked in a year?
Yeah, you could get that in the top here. Where's the sacks? Yeah, I know. 41, 32, 27, 15, 41, 18. But if you want to talk about sacks, let's do this quick.
He only played 6 years.
Let's do a quick comparison here of our last 2 immortal quarterbacks.
Is that the name of this segment? Immortal quarterbacks.
How many times has Tua's gotten sacked? 20, 20, and 21.
That's not a lot, dude. That's not a lot.
And we consider him to have played with a bad line, right, Hialeah?
Yeah, that's not a lot of sacks, bro.
Right, Bum? We consider his tenure to have been with not a good offensive line?
Dude, when Marino used to lead the league in not getting sacked, it was like what, anywhere from 10 to 15?
Yeah, something like that.
He's in the 20. He's at 20. That's not a lot of sacks.
I disagree.
He's not playing the whole year, but still.
Look up Burrow and see how many times look up David Carr and see how many times he got sacked.
Well, look at this guy. Tannehill. 35, 58, 46, 45. Finally, he gets down to 29, 35, 31, 24. He may just be a tackling dummy, this guy.
Okay, I was going to say, I'm going to make that. Tannehill has no – people talk about pocket awareness. Tannehill has no pocket presence, awareness, or any idea of what the pocket is doing when it's collapsing. How many times do you see that guy pocket collapsing and just boom?
Okay, that is true, Chad. But look at how many games he played in every season.
Okay, I'm not disagreeing. I'm not arguing games and this and that. I would just say, to me, the difference on that is that Tua has more pocket awareness than Tannehill does. Granted, maybe that's why he has less sacks. I mean, granted, he hasn't played a full season like, Randy was saying, so there's a whole bunch of factors in there. But Tannehill, to me, is like he had a couple decent O-lines, and still it was really bad.
Well, it just seems that he takes the worst of it when they do get to him.
Yeah, he takes the least amount of sacks, but the most severe sacks.
Yeah, like
no, for sure. I'm not disagreeing.
In 2013, he led the league in being sacked with that 58. That's why it's in bold.
Yeah, He's gotten sacked 383 times. Tua's gotten sacked 60 times.
I'm not. Look, I'm not.
Do you think Tua could take 323 more sacks?
Dude, just
No,
think about it this
I'm
way.
not.
Tannehill had more sacks in that season than Tua had in 3.
Yes, basically.
Yeah, but also too, Tannehill's been sacked so many times. He knows how to fall. It looks like.
This guy just broke down eventually after so many, but it's just. Who did you want to look at? Joe Burrow?
Yeah, look at Burrow's sacks.
But he missed the whole season. To Randy's point, yeah, he missed the season.
Yeah,
but
because he
he's
got
come back.
sacked and he blew out his knee.
Yeah, but to Randy's point, he's come back and he's been playing all year this year, durable. Look, and last year took him to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And he may have been the highest sacked quarterback the year he got hurt.
I believe he was. Yeah, he was.
51.
32, 51, and 41. Even this year, he's gotten sacked a ton. He's gotten sacked double the amount of sacks that Tua has.
Yeah, in 3 years, 124 times versus probably how many games has Tua played? Chad, do you know off the top of your head?
It's like 20. No, it's got to be like maybe like 40 something. I want to say.
Dude, and that's coming back from an ACL.
So, Burrow has played almost the same amount of games throwing an ACL, and he's gotten sacked double.
Double.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That tells you a little bit about his durability, I guess.
He has 32 games as a starter.
But isn't that also not only durability, but the other piece that makes somebody like that a franchise quarterback, that he was still able to be good, even great, being sacked that many times, right?
Leading the league.
Yeah.
Not related to getting sacked and fucking killed all the time, but I saw something today, or I don't remember when, and it said, "Oh, Patrick Mahomes, what a great season, and he lost Tyreek Hill, didn't miss a beat." And I thought, fucking say it about Tyreek Hill too, dude. Tyreek Hill left.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And I think he might have had like is that his best season?
Yeah, hands down, it's been his best season in regards of catches and yards.
Mm-hmm.
He only has what, like 7 or 8 touchdowns.
Yeah,
TDs was low, man.
Yeah,
and I remember something. I'm sorry, before I fucking forget, we were talking about the defense, right? You were talking, Chad, about how the defense hasn't been as terrible as some people say. I was talking to the bum about this. I said their offensive style, which has led to, at some points, 3 and outs, but at other points, bomb to Waddle, bomb to Tyreek, and we're scoring like this. The defense is right back out there, and that has to add to the amount of times you're out there, the amount of minutes you're out there, because you're right back out there. That's we love it. It's awesome, but really, you want to run that ball and waste it. You got to give those guys a fucking breather, dude.
Agree, but to me, if you look at the games we lost, we didn't lose because of our defense. Our defense kept us in the game all the way to the end, and then the offense, which is supposed to be now this scorelific offense, didn't come through to score points. Because how many times did the defense give up 30 points or 40? Not that much. They kept teams under 30 points for the most part. In today's day age in the NFL, you need to put up 30 points to win games.
I think we gave up like 3 or 4 more points a game this year than last year. Another thing that I noticed about Tua, this is a weird analysis, but I made it. We all know Gesicki severely underused, right?
Yes.
This year, for sure, except for the last game.
Mostert, I felt like he was underused both in the running game, and he could catch a little bit. Mm-hmm. Every receiver after Tyreek and Waddle underused. And then I looked at the numbers. I said, let me see. And the Dolphins, Tyreek and Waddle have way more catches than the rest of the team combined.
Mhm.
There is no other NFL. I looked up 10 teams. I looked up everybody in the AFC East. I looked up what were considered some of the best receiving duels besides Waddle and Hill, which was like the Bengals. I looked at the Vikings. I looked at the Niners, who have a lot of talent. I looked at like 10 teams. No other team was even close where the top two receivers had more receptions than the rest of the team. Everybody else was under. The top two receivers weren't even close to having as many receptions. And then I said, you know what? This guy could be a one-read quarterback, because if he wasn't throwing it to Hill and he wasn't throwing it to Waddle, he wasn't really throwing it to anybody. And the argument is, yeah, Hill and Waddle are great, but fucking Chase and Higgins and fucking Jefferson and even Thielen and anybody else were pretty fucking good, but those guys were not even close to that stat.
And
I
think, Randy, what do good teams do when they see that? Because you're not the only one that notices that. They stop it, dude.
Yeah.
No,
they
but
shut
at the
down.
same time, I think the reason it was like that because those are the only two guys that can get open. Granted, you're able to stop it. You can only stop it for so long.
If you got Tyreek Hill and you got Waddle and nobody else could get open, you got a fucking problem.
No, dude. Gesicki did well in the games Tua didn't play. If you look at the damage, the little damage, because he didn't do much, he did them when the other guys played.
Yeah,
You
but
gotta have guys open. They're getting so much
he
attention, those guys.
played well in that Baltimore game though too. So I mean, I don't know. It could be now maybe to your point. Tua has two favorites, but a lot of the times, like I feel like he goes through reads, and then there's times where I feel like he missed Tyreek or Waddle on an open play, and he went to another guy that was like on an out or slant. I'm like, okay, but why
I don't know.
wouldn't you get one of those?
I remember hearing when I look at like elite quarterbacks, look how he's spreading the ball around. 7 different receivers. Like you never heard that with him. It was always like Waddle 2 catches for 80 yards, Tyreek 3 for 150, Gesicki 1 for 2 yards,
Or
like,
0.
yeah, or like did Gesicki fucking play this game? I didn't fucking see him, dude. And
But
that
are
guy's
they going to pay him next year?
They
What's that?
they franchise tagged them and
Again?
And they're probably gonna, well,
Yeah,
no,
they're going to let him go. Yeah, exactly. We franchise him, and they're going to let him go. He's going to get paid by another team, 100%.
yeah.
I don't know. I don't see a complete package there when I look at Tua as far as
No,
making
but
those reads.
but I also don't see it that the only problem that this team has is the quarterback problem.
Oh no.
No.
I see it where this team needs to have somebody way better than him to cover up some of that stench of all that other shit we got. You know?
Yeah,
That's what
But how many of those guys are out there though? Like that's the thing.
Exactly.
there was
Like-
one drafted right in front of him.
Every team has.
Hey, that's what we think as of right now. We don't know what's going to turn out for that. And is it the stench of that guy? Because I'll say this: when he didn't have freaking Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, he didn't look that good. And Mike Williams' back is out now, and he didn't look that good without his 2 best weapons. And
What do
he
you
has
think Tua would have been without
what
him and
about-
Waddle?
He was probably
He
playing
would
with
have been
broken
Tua from
ribs as
last
well.
year. He would have been Tua from last year. I'm
Probably
not saying.
playing with broken ribs.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not even making the argument. Tua would have looked like Tua from last year for sure. But my thing is does Herbert look good? Yes. I think a lot of people are appointing him just a little too early because there's been plenty of times where I can look up and he did not look good. And I was like, well, he don't look good at all, and he didn't
Dude,
show
when
up.
you look at the
Playing
complete
injured
body.
all year.
I don't care about the complete body. You can have the body, the arm, and all that.
No,
You still
not
need to
the
win
physical
games.
body, not his body. I mean the complete body of work, like his full 3 seasons in the NFL. When you look at that, I don't think you can deny, dude, that the guy.
He's
is
had the
on a
best
Hall
3
of Fame.
seasons ever to start a career.
Yeah, like
Okay, he could start that, but he could be the next Dan Marino for all we know,
He
which
could
is
be.
great.
He-
because
he's
everyone-
looking like it.
Doesn't mean he's going to win a Super Bowl.
Correct. I'm just saying, like, it's still early. Something could happen with Herbert.
Of
And when you-
course.
yes, he could die, but other than that, you're gonna make me pull up Justin Herbert's stats, dude. Hold on.
You don't.
Look 'em
I
up.
don't.
Look.
I know the stats. I don't need to.
I
hear
No,
it.
we're gonna look at
Go
him.
to the stats.
We're gonna look at him.
Look at the stats. The stats tell you not the truth. Look at his record. To Hialeah's point, look at his record. Tell me what his record says, Randy. Before you read his
Okay.
stats, say what his record is.
We're gonna look it up.
I've seen his stats. He's thrown over 30 touchdowns. I get it. He's thrown 30 and like 12 interceptions, 4,000 yards for one season, and yada yada yada. I've seen it. I've heard it. But to me, you can put up all the stats in the world that you want. The real stat that counts is when you win football games. And that guy has a mediocre win-loss ratio. And Hailey said it earlier. Tell me what his
Here's
record
Chad
is.
in the corner.
That's
I'm going
what
to
he
show
is.
him Herbert's stats.
No, I don't need it. His stats mean nothing. What is his, bro? What is his actual win-loss record? That's what I want to hear first.
Well, he's going to be playing in the playoffs.
Okay,
this weekend.
okay. So is the Dolphins. So let's.
But not
Well,
Tua.
what's-
We're talking about Tua.
Okay, hey, but we could look at it once again. Tell me what his record is.
25 and 24.
Okay, all right. He's and bro, he covers up all the stench and for the Chargers, bro. He's incredible. Look at that, 25 and 24. He's an average quarterback.
All right.
He probably does.
I'm going to have to do a
I could
side by
only
side.
imagine what they would be without
I
him.
don't need a side by side. I understand that he's put up more numbers than Tua, but my point is Tua's win ratio is better. He wins.
But
Tua
a lot
just
of those
wins
games
football
that he
games.
won he wasn't the main quarterback.
Who, Tua? Get the hell out of here. He won all the games this year.
What about the games with Fitzpatrick? Who you
Oh.
giving those wins to? Fitzpatrick or to Tua?
Oh,
It depends
hey,
who started and finished. All right, here we go. Here's Tuna.
I don't need the comparison, bro. I'm telling you.
21
I've
and
seen-
13.
His stats can be flipped to any way that you want and make any type of argument. So stats mean nothing to me. At the end of the
Okay,
day, in any sport, what counts? Winning. Winning is what counts. As much as we love Dan Marino, guess what? He ain't the GOAT. You know who's the GOAT, Randy? You hate him. Tom Brady. Why? He's won how many fucking Super Bowls? That's the
Oh, but
measuring
we're
stick.
comparing apples
So-
and oranges.
Measuring stick, it has to be what have you won? Because when you
This
talk
is
basketball,
the stat I like right here.
there's
49
people-
games played. I like
Out
that.
of 49 games.
That's what I like. And then in those games, you gave me 14,000 yards, 94 touchdowns, 35 picks. He could throw less picks. I think that'll come with time.
Even still, dude, 10 picks a year is not bad, dude.
Tua takes care of the ball a little bit more.
And
But-
how many less games? Games?
He's played 13 less games. You know,
Okay,
almost.
just that first season. Look, Tua played 9, Herbert played 15.
Mhm.
He had double the interceptions.
Patrick was the fucking starter. He was the Tua was not supposed to start that year because
Neither was Herbert. He was forced in.
Herbert
When they
wasn't
punctured
supposed
this guy's lung, right?
to-
Yes.
the first
Yeah.
game.
Tyrod Taylor.
He
Yeah.
wasn't
Yeah,
meant
but
to
that
be
was the
starter
first
either.
game of the season. Fitzpatrick played how many games before Tua came in?
Well, I agree. That first year, I thought maybe we'll see Tua in the last game if it's not important, if we've clinched or we're out of it. I was not expecting to see him play at all that year, other than maybe the last game. So I was surprised that he was even in there at all. All right. The debate is still open. Chad left. All right. We don't have to talk about that anymore, Chad.
No, I gotta
No, I'm
go
still
too,
here.
man. I
still
gotta
here.
get up
Yeah.
early.
I'm just taking care of some stuff as I'm listening to y'all look at Justin Herbert's stats.
I think the fellas are ready to wrap it up.
Yeah, I gotta go.
Bum, anything else on your agenda or parting thoughts?
Go Dolphins.
Damn, you
This
sound real enthusiastic about that.
What else could I say, man? I hope. they
Hialeah,
win.
you're gonna miss my juicy post-game story, bro.
I want to hear it. If we end it now, I got time to hear it because I want to hear it.
All right,
But I
Chad.
just want to say it was a lot of fun being here tonight.
Yeah,
I
man, it
missed
was fun
I
having you
missed
back.
it. I missed it.
Yeah, it was a trip. Chad, anything else? Any other press releases from Tuanon or any parting thoughts?
I mean, I don't know. I said it earlier on the show, and I've even said it multiple times to you. I agree that his durability is his biggest problem, and we need to find a quarterback. So I don't know, why you want me to continue to say it, but I
Oh
was
no, I didn't
wrong.
say about
You
that. It
know,
was just in
I was.
general.
But I mean, I came off the Tuanon, bandwagon. I think we have to find somebody that's going to be durable. But I also know that to find like the next greatest quarterback is like one of the hardest things, right? We never know really who it is because how many times have people started off great and then turned out not to be great, vice versa, or they find some guy at a grocery store and turns out to be a Hall of Famer, So
Bro, how nice is
we,
it? How nice is it to be one of those teams that has one of those guys, huh?
it's a blessing, right?
It is so nice.
They
bro.
really don't know. I mean, I can tell you right now, one of my closest friends, he's a Buffalo fan. And I mean, I make this joke about him. Like Buffalo fans, they really believe Josh Allen is the second coming of Jesus because he can do everything. You see him? He can even walk on water, turn water into wine.
Good for them, dude. Good for
75%
them.
of us think, well, not you, but before, think they're going to win the Super Bowl.
You know what? I'm going to come out. I've been saying it. I don't think they get past Kansas City. I think Kansas City, they, despite of what everyone thinks, they earned that number one spot. It's got to go through there. And I think the way that they went out last year to Buffalo, they got a little spark in them. And Mahomes and Andy Reid, like nothing against McDermott and Allen, but I think I lean on their experience and that offensive power because, I mean, Buffalo's defense is not that good.
All right, give us your Super Bowl pick and we'll get out of here.
My Super Bowl pick, I'm going to go. It's going to be Chiefs and Eagles.
And who wins?
I'm going to say Chiefs.
Tua time.
Not anymore.